How does that affect the average person, bro? How does that affect the average person?
You can lose your job.
No. The average person does not have the platform to really be affected by those people making those kinds of threats.
Everybody has a platform these days. What you talking about? Everybody got a TikTok.
I
Countless people done lost their jobs from making TikTok videos to their 15 followers. They got 1 million. That one video got 1 million views. And they lost their nursing job because they said something against
years ago that wasn't an issue.
Against anything.
Against transgenderism, for example.
I have never seen or heard, this is news to me, I have never seen or heard people losing their job for speaking out against the LGBT.
I can show you some examples.
Right, LMNOPZ.
Not so much. Nobody has a problem with the LGBT.
TQIA,
the LGB. Nobody has a problem with the LGB.
And we had that conversation. I told her that.
Yeah, it's LGBT. Just the T and the rest of them.
Yeah, I think it's not really the topic of what he's. I don't think it's a topic.
I get that energy from you.
I think it's getting grabbed up into the. I think it's being misconstrued. The topic is not what he's talking about. The topic is how he's getting treated because they're mad about the fact that he stated how he felt about it to the point where he had to come out and apologize.
He didn't have to apologize. He could have stood on it.
But behind the scenes, he was probably losing a lot of opportunities and shit.
They was about to debate him.
Those are the things you need to consider before you go on a public podcast and say something.
Those are the things you need to consider before you go on a public podcast and say something.
He did consider it.
No, he didn't.
And then he weighed out the options.
He knew what he was doing. Maybe he did consider it, and he was like, "Fuck that! Ain't nobody gonna tell me how to think and what I can say." And he went on and said it, and then he said it. The shit happened, and his publicist released that shit.
Stand on it.
And then he did stand on it. He came out and said this. You seen that?
I seen all the videos.
Okay.
Yeah, I seen everything.
I just want to play it for the people one time. You know what I'm saying? It's still a show.
But my thing is, stand on it.
The Quote Goats Podcast. With your hosts, Tommy Gunn. The Quote Goats Podcast.
All right. We back in the building for another episode of the Quote Goats Podcast. I go by the name of Tommy Guns. And I got my boy Artillery back in the building.
It's good, King. How you feeling?
I'm good, man. How you been?
I'm blessed, man. No complaints.
Yeah, you just happen to be in town.
Yeah, traveling, moving around,
With your label and stuff, right?
Yeah, I got the team in the building, we moving.
Okay, you want to let everybody introduce themselves and stuff?
Well, definitely.
My name's Vanetta. I'm an artist, a songwriter, and yeah, I'm happy to be here. So.
Okay, who else we got?
I'm Justinia. I'm also singer, songwriter, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Billy Primo, put your bitch up on the Timo. Got me feeling like I'm Primo. Yeah. Man, stop playing.
Okay.
We in the
building. But Billy Primo is your... Oh, did you introduce yourself, or that sounded like a part of a verse?
That was it. Billy
That's my introduction.
Oh, okay. I like that. I fuck with that. Okay.
You get a sample and an introduction.
So, where everybody from?
Well, of course, I'm from Richmond, Virginia. So.
I'm from Jamaica. I would say Jamaica, but I live in Maryland, so DMV. So DC, Maryland, Virginia.
Okay.
Florida.
Chester, Virginia. So
Chester.
Not too far from Richmond, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never heard of Chester.
Yeah, it's
a lot of pedophiles there. Sound like child molester. Chester. So what y'all doing in Europe?
Just music, working, doing shows, different events, traveling, just different artists, just connected all in one place and just started getting on our grind. So, and we all got several different talents. So
okay.
I love experiences, so
yeah.
I like to go and visit in different cultures and see how different people live, because I feel like you get you can get closed-minded if you stay in one place too long. So if you get out and see
that's
the
true.
world,
That's true. That's
you
true.
can get a better perspective of a lot of things. So I just like traveling in general.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people from back home, their thinking is in the box of America, and they don't understand like what traveling and seeing other places and countries and cultures does to like your psyche and like all the boxes that America puts people in and all the group mentalities that, you know, they perpetuate in America and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
And you got to see it for yourself. Like,
yes.
Literally, you have to go places and see things for yourself. You can't just take one person's word for it or a whole country's word for it. If that matter. Like, you really should get out and actually experience it for yourself.
Definitely, because I feel like a lot of people in America feel like America is like the best place in the world just because they've never experienced anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? And if you ain't got a reference point, you just taking America's word for it. You know what I'm saying? Then what's the difference between that and a commune and, you know what I'm saying, North Korea, where they telling you this is heaven on earth right here. You know what I'm saying?
Very true. Very true.
I knew it was some flex shit.
So what?
No, I was talking about something
Oh,
else.
okay. Okay. Okay.
Because I've been to Cuba, and Cuba was like super nice. And I remember when I told my dad I was going to Cuba, and he was just like, "No, don't go there. It's scary. You know, you got to be very careful.
Yeah.
They're gonna kidnap you. They're gonna traffic you and do all this other stuff.
Right.
Mafias and all that stuff." And I was just like, "Oh, I'm still going." So I went, and it was just it was an amazing experience. It was so nice. It was literally, I'm a musical person, so
right.
there was music everywhere. Like, it wasn't anywhere you could walk around where there wasn't some type of band playing in a restaurant, somebody singing. It was really, really nice. You know, like anywhere, there's gonna be a couple people that's out there trying to scam you and things like that. But in general, it was just a very peaceful experience. Like, I really enjoyed Cuba.
Did y'all go to Cuba from here, from Europe?
No, I went from we flew out of Florida actually. To go to Cuba because you know it's right there. Like, it wasn't even a long flight. We were even still on the same time zone. So
right, but was they like surprised to see an American? Because when I went, I went to Cuba too.
Yeah.
And I was like the only American at my whole resort. You know what I'm saying? They was like, "You from America? We don't get many like American niggas around here and shit." You know, but they was real nice and like, even though the whole environment over there is kind of controlled and like everybody get the same amount of money no matter what they do, you know, government housing, all that type of shit. Right. They seemed
happier,
content, despite that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they ain't no reality outside of that and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I think limitless, the ability to have limitless, like the ability to grind the way we do with no end.
Capitalism.
Yeah, it really throws off your happiness in life.
Cause you always like chasing something.
Yeah, whereas though in their state of living, they have a ceiling. Once they get there, they know this is it, and I think it allows them to put more into actually being
like living.
Yeah. Because a lot of those places, those people look very, very happy. They look very satisfied. They never.
It was kind of like that in Africa too when I was there.
Yeah. Life is just simple.
Yeah, they're never complaining. You never hear about them wanting to overthrow their person.
Right.
They're living peaceful lives.
So would you rather that or like,
yes,
to have the opportunity to, be a billionaire one day? You know what I'm saying?
I would like option.
I would like the option.
Yeah.
Too.
If I want to be that, I'll be that. If I want to be this, I'll be that. But I don't want to put a box on myself with it though.
But the way I think that in Cuba and Africa, I think by doing that where everybody has the same thing, what it really kills is the competition. Because I like the chase. I like to have a goal to reach and things that, and be able to go above and beyond.
Right.
But with that comes other people trying to get to that same thing. Or if you meet somebody that has the same goal, you got to beat somebody out in the process. That's where it kind of gets irritating. It's really the competition.
Someone has to lose.
It's the competition portion that we don't like. But if everybody has the same thing, it defeats the competition. But it's still, I like to have something to strive for and be able to go above and beyond.
Aspire to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like that, but everybody having the same thing. That's nice and peaceful for a vacation.
But then it comes down to wondering, do we think that way because we're not born in
I was
that
just
culture?
about to say that if we was born into a culture
and we didn't have the, right now we know what freedom like this feels like, but if we never knew it existed, to them, it's kind of not to say ignorance is bliss, but
ignorance is bliss though.
It is. So there is no water getting turned off. There is no late bill. There is no I won't have a home. There's no when my kids go to school. There's none of that. There's no roasting someone because they wear something that all that.
Because everybody got the same shit.
And they're probably a very peaceful community.
Imagine living that way like your whole life, right? And you ain't got, say you have no influence from the outside world and you live that way your whole life and you content and happy. Then one day you see like something from America on TV, like a super future. You never seen a real movie before. You see like this super futuristic like movie from America somewhere. Like, wouldn't that be fucking heartbreaking that you done wasted so much of your life and all this stuff?
So for me, like I said, I'm Jamaican, so I do have a culture.
Right.
And I have a Caribbean culture. And for me, when I go back home and I can just wake up and go to a tree and pick off a piece of fruit, or I can go and just walk down to the corner shop and go buy breakfast, or just, it's more peaceful. And I think for us, when we do see a lot of outside influences, because a lot of us have family in the States, Europe, Canada, stuff like that. So when we see the outside influences and how everyone in America is suffering, you can't pay your bills.
Right.
Like economy is shit right now. So when we go home and we see everything, we're like, dang, it sucks for them. Like we're not feeling like, oh, I want to go to America. I know a lot of Caribbeans and Africans come to the States or the Europe so they can just make money, but they're going right back home.
Right. So are you saying like the American dream is dead? Like nobody's like aspiring to like go to America and make it anymore?
I think the internet has opened the world up to the point where everyone can see everything, and it has erased it. I think it was an American dream because it was something you couldn't see. But the minute it became possible to look into every single country around the world, reality hit.
The bubble popped.
It's a global consciousness now.
I think it was the American dream when it was attainable, because now it's not attainable. You can't buy a house. Everyone's finances, everyone is working to survive. No one's not working to live.
Right.
So I just feel like, especially with the millennials and the Gen Zers, it's just like most of us we're working to survive. So we'll rather use that money that we'll use for savings to go out and just have experiences and stuff instead of trying to buy a house and stuff like that.
But I honestly don't think the American dream was ever real. To be honest, I feel like
I need to turn your mic up, but keep talking.
Oh, okay. I feel like the American dream was something that America pushed to make America seem like they were just everything and that we were the best out of everywhere. So it's one of those things where, like they literally said, they were selling the American dream. When you're selling something, you're going to make it seem like it's the best thing ever so people can buy into it.
Yeah, it was all propaganda.
I think just even the fact that the word dream is in the statement.
Exactly.
The fact that it's called the dream is enough for you to really kind of be like, what was this? What were they implying that this was?
I feel like,
go ahead.
I feel like the American dream was a dream, but it wasn't our dream. So it was.
Whose dream was it? The colonizers?
I think the dream is for foreigners. And the reason why it's an American dream to the foreigner, because the foreigner's leaving where he's coming, and he's coming here already knowing that I'm coming for business to send him money back home. But if you're someone who was born on American soil, the American dream is not. It's not for you. You're inside the country.
I would beg to differ. Because I think it's for the citizen in like an attempt to push like patriotism. You know, you gotta like if you're gonna be a patriot and you're gonna like love your country, you gotta think it's the greatest country in the world, and they need people to be patriotic so people will want to fight the wars for them. You know what I'm saying? They need grunts. I mean, I've been in the military, so I can say this. Like, they need people who, the idea is to have people who love the country so much they'll die for it. You know what I'm saying? So they got to push the agenda to where like no place is better than us. You know,
they can either push that or they can make it harder for a lot of people graduating to go to schools, to go to have a good paying job, so they would have to go to the military.
So they have to enlist and stuff. Yeah. I hear they about to bring back the draft and shit.
They're gonna have to bring back the draft.
They gonna have to?
They got to. We ain't met our recruitment and retention goals since 2018. Like, I saw the writings on the wall 5 years ago. Like, they gonna have to bring the draft back.
Why you think people ain't signing up like that no more?
I think there's a lot of reasons. Personally, I think it's I don't like the word toxic leadership. I'm gonna say counterproductive leadership.
Okay.
I think counterproductive leadership in conjunction with the rise of TikTok or social media in general. Like, why would I join something and the leaders aren't being held accountable, but you want to fry junior enlisted or junior officers, but the senior people that's causing the issue aren't being held accountable. And now, so with the rise of social media, those junior leaders, junior officers, and junior soldiers now have a voice and a platform. And now, what happened was when they started, talking, now your peers and the people under you aren't going to join. Like, your peer group, why would I join the army? I hear it's so horrible.
Right.
Go on TikTok and search this. Yeah. Go on TikTok and search toxic leadership. Now you got 80,000, 800,000 videos on counterproductive leadership in the military. So why would you join?
I would think the army would make that like illegal to like speak out about internal shit.
It's freedom of speech.
You can't take away a soldier's right to freedom of speech. That's in the United States Constitution.
But if you got a top secret fucking security clearance and shit,
how many people really got top secret clearance though?
Yeah. But as far as
it's rare.
Yeah, you just can't talk about the job, what you're doing at your specific job.
But you can talk shit about people, your leadership.
But you gotta think, a lot of these people are already either transitioning out the military or out the military.
Right.
Now
okay, then they can tell their story
now
and
what
shit.
You gonna do? You can't take freedom of speech. So.
Yeah.
No.
Shit, I'm trying to get my disability right now, so I ain't trying to.
You ain't trying to ruffle no.
I ain't trying. No, I'm just bullshit. I am trying to get that shit, but I'm still gonna openly speak. But I remember when I was in the military, like it was like I hated. I liked it, like up until I got to my duty station and shit. Not to talk too much about the military, but what made me hate it when I got to my duty station was my leadership. Like, I had the worst platoon sergeant ever. This nigga thought he was Al Capone or somebody. He was a big fat Mexican dude. Thought he was a mob boss. We couldn't smile.
Calling the shots.
Yeah.
Capiche.
That was his favorite fucking word. But we couldn't. He outlawed smiling in the shop. Niggas couldn't laugh unless he laughed first type shit. Like,
and that was like invisible rule.
No, it was a definite rule. Like,
oh wow,
it wasn't
you cannot laugh today.
It was his rule.
Yeah. That's a power trip.
That's a power trip.
You laugh in the motherfucking shop if you want to. You got empty the whole goddamn Connex for nothing, and then in the heat of the day in Texas, and then put your shit back in. Like, it was just stuff like that. And I was at Fort Hood, and it was the deployments, and then dealing with him in the deployments and shit like that. So I can feel people.
Right Fort Hood getting a lot of flack.
Then they changed. I heard they changed the name.
Yeah, I can't remember it. Then it changed to, they renamed all the bases over, trying to include minorities because they.
No, what happened was they were named after Confederate. Generals or Confederate officers.
That's
right.
So
yeah,
in the woke movement or whatever you want to call it.
The woke movement.
They went back and renamed the bases because they was named after Confederate.
But what does that do though? Like, everybody's still gonna call it Fort Hood. How y'all feel about all this woke shit that's going on? Let's get into that.
Okay. There's the lid.
Let's crack the lid open.
Okay, let's crack the lid. It depends on what woke movement it is.
I feel like, okay, let's define what's woke.
Woke just means to be conscious and be aware. It's a
Does
state.
it now? That was the definition
That's
at
the original
first.
definition.
I feel y'all know who Snow the product is.
I know who it is.
Yeah.
She coined that word at first, like years ago. That was her shit, and then people took it and turned it into like what you just said, and now I feel like it represents. I feel like it represents because it's like wokeness, and then it's like kind of conservatism and stuff.
Yeah.
And like wokeness to me represents like how you feel over the fact of the matter. You know what I'm saying? How people feel and taking care of the little person over straight facts. And conservatism is like fact-based, tried and true, traditional shit. You know what I'm saying? That's how I perceive it. I don't know if I'm right or wrong.
Well,
how y'all feel.
It's a good way to break it down. But when you speak of the woke movement, and originally speaking, the woke movement has always been a group of people in different generations in any country, anywhere in the world, where there was a force trying to keep people dumb, deaf, and blind, and they became aware of the information and chose to spread it. That is the woke movement. Now, it's been twisted and changed around to several different things. Right. But being woke means, originally speaking, it's you were asleep in a sleep state. Right. And you were giving the knowledge of something that made you aware.
Yeah, I definitely get that.
Now, the thing is, there's a lot of woke people. However, some people are woke and they're not doing anything while they're awake. They're just looking around. Okay. And that's where the woke thing kind of gets, I think, kind of messed up. It's because it's a lot of woke people. They're just not doing nothing while they're up. Right. So it's like, what's the purpose of being up if you're not making no effort? Most people wake up and they don't spread the knowledge. They don't put anything to play. They're not building with anybody. Usually they just become aware of it and they don't activate it. And that's the reason why the woke thing.
You feel like they just like it's like a complaining thing without action or something like that?
I wouldn't say complaining because it's still awareness. So some people hear and don't hear, see and don't see. Okay. So I just think a lot of people become aware of a lot of information in this time. Just because of the internet, so many people are talking. It's so easy. So many opinions and ideas out there. Yeah, and in 2023, you pretty much can stumble upon almost everything you need to stumble upon. Yeah, you don't really have to soul search as hard as you did at first.
Yeah, there's so much confirmation bias out there. Whatever your agenda or ideas are, you can find a video or something. Yeah, so confirming it and like.
So now being aware is trendy. Everybody's full of information, so they can talk in the comments on Facebook and Instagram, and so much they're learning, but they're really not doing anything. Like the information is not being applied. So now all we have is a woke movement. That's it.
But what's up with all this canceling? Just because people, like, it's billions of people on the planet, right?
Now that's the woke. That's the new age. That's some other shit. Like that's not the woke movement. That's something.
Because y'all know about Neo, right?
Yeah, like the Matrix.
No.
Oh, the singer.
The singer, Neo.
Okay, yeah.
He was about to go in a hole.
Yeah, we was about to go really down the rabbit hole on that one.
We was talking woke. We hit the water, red pill, blue pill.
But did y'all see his interview on Vlad TV?
I didn't, but I know he apologized for something.
You saw it?
I saw it.
Y'all want to watch the clip to like refresh?
Yeah, just so I can fully understand. I seen his apology, but I never knew what it was for.
I think I got it in here.
Exactly. I just personally come from an era where a man was a man and a woman was a woman, and it wasn't but two genders, and that's just how I rocked.
Me now,
too. You could identify as a goldfish if you feel
right.
I don't care. That ain't my business. It becomes my business when you try to make me play the game with you. I'm not finna call you a goldfish, but you want to be a goldfish, you go be a goldfish. It's all
Amen.
Good. I mean, it's just, we live in a weird time, man. We do. We live in a time where a person will have a mental breakdown in front of their camera.
Right.
Wait, let me white balance it.
I seen that TikTok you
I
talking
feel
about.
like parents have almost forgotten what the role of a parent is.
Amen.
It's like, okay,
Lost control.
if your little boy comes to you and says, "Daddy, I want to be a girl," and you just let him rock with that, you just let.
Right.
He's 5.
Right. And where did he get that
if
from?
you let this 5-year-old boy decide to eat candy all day, he's gonna do that.
Exactly.
Like when
My
did
son
it
would
become a
definitely
good
eat
idea to
candy
let a
all day
5-year-old
if I
let a
let him do
6-year-old
it.
See,
So,
and I
Let's
peep,
get into it.
I peep it says the woke, and that's like it's like a slap to the face. And the reason why I'm gonna say it, just
What's a slap to the face though?
the title that whatever that is, whoever's running with that and calling themselves the woke, for that to offend them, it has to be something that is not linked nowhere near to that movement. And I basically, the woke movement became a thing when Erykah Badu started running around the country yelling "Stay woke." And
Erykah Badu?
Erykah Badu. If you look up the Stay Woke movement, it's linked to a bar she wrote, and then people got behind it, and Stay Woke became a quote. It wasn't this, but that's not the topic. But I just want to throw that out there for
Yeah, I
people
got
to
you.
look up.
I kind of
just
want to
so
stick. I want to get
we
into
need to
the.
put that anchor there of what it really is. But I mean,
I kind of.
Yeah,
from
I was watching it. I understand why it may have offended a certain group or a certain community. I understand why it would be offensive to some people.
I wasn't offended,
and I personally was not offended. But I feel like he made some valid points though, because and speaking in the terms of the child. So if the child comes to you and they're like they want to be a girl, I feel like parents aren't asking questions. They're just kind of going with whatever the child wants to do. It's like, oh, you want to be a girl? Okay, cool. That's awesome. Let's do that because you want to do that.
Right.
But you're not asking the questions. Why do you want to be a girl? Because then it'd be like, well, I want to be a girl because she got a toy and I didn't get to get one.
Right.
She got to get one. And it's like, that's why you want to be a girl? Okay. Backtrack, because you can get that same thing. It might not have been that situation, but just explain. They don't understand at that age. They just want to be something because they think that person is getting something they're not getting.
So you don't think at a certain age a child can know, like, that they're another
scientifically speaking, the brain isn't developed, so no.
Exactly.
Right.
No, we can say they are. But scientifically speaking, the human brain isn't developed yet.
Bro, scientifically speaking, a man's brain isn't developed to 43.
Yeah.
But do you have your opinions? You're not 43.
43?
I'm saying
scientifically,
if
we're bringing science into this.
Right.
If we're bringing science into this, scientifically speaking, the average man isn't mentally fully developed until the age of 43.
But before, I would say before,
that's all
I don't
right.
even know if that's true. We can Google that
No,
shit.
it's
But I'm saying on
But
a
I'm
child
saying
level,
maybe it's not fully developed,
Exactly. Fully
but
developed.
you
At
can
a child level, it's
you got way more like cognitive ability to discern shit when you in your 20s than when you 5.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
So for a child, at 4 years old, you develop consciousness. So at 5, I think a lot of us at 5 might know. Like I knew I was destined for something good as a child.
Right.
And I feel like people can understand, hey, I think I'm supposed to be something. I'm supposed to be an artist. I'm supposed to be an actress, blah, blah, blah. So I think what it is.
I know you're going, but stop. But where would that even come from? Is that coming from an outside? Yeah, from an inspiration, from an outside influence,
So
or would you?
Is not just one stream. It's not just I feel this, so therefore this. It's sometimes you can just wake up one day, or you can just always feel the music inside of you. You can feel
without the influence, with zero influence. If you was born in a white room with no stimuli, you would come out that room and say, "I'm gonna be like."
Well, they
Cardi B one day.
They wouldn't know anything, but they can knock on the walls and hum and no. Like they can still. I just feel like what it is with the kids. I think that he's simplifying it. A child is not just saying, "I want to be a girl," and then just doing it. I feel like a lot of the children are going through. Oh, girl, I can't even
go ahead.
I can't even do it. I just feel like everyone needs. They're just simplifying the process. and people should kind of just keep their opinions to themselves for certain things.
But why?
When I look at it though, really, I think the main thing is not that what he said is right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting to the point.
The fact that he can't say it.
Whether it's right or wrong doesn't matter. It's whether someone got offended, and that's what's crazy to me. It's really they've created an invisible way to actually take freedom of speech. If your survival depends on you having a
certain narrative being pushed.
Seriously, and the thing I think it's not about who's right. Because people, whatever you do with floats your boat.
Exactly.
But as a natural order, a spider teaches spiders to be spiders. Ducks walk like ducks. At the end of the day, as parents, you're supposed to recreate what you are on the earth. And if what you are is a certain way, I feel everybody should have the God-given
You don't
right
agree with that?
to duplicate themselves in their family tree.
Your child is not like an extension of you. Your child is your own. It's its own entity of a person.
True. Two things can be true at one time.
Oh, this is my twin, so now you have to do this. Because I think for me, my mom wanted me to be a nurse and do all the medical stuff, and I wanted to sing. So
okay.
She just because this is what she wanted me to do doesn't mean that I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. I just feel like people need to understand your child is not an extension of you. You don't rule that child. Personally, I feel like that the child has its own minds, has its own collective thoughts, has its own consciousness. Like, I just feel like that you just shouldn't do that as a parent.
I agree and disagree.
Yeah.
I agree that
it could be a good medium.
I agree that a child is an extension of you, but I also believe that you shouldn't push something on a child that they may not want to do. The job as parents is to guide your children to whatever greatness that their purpose or whatever it is that they're meant
that you
for.
perceive
and
as
if
great.
you've ever not even what we perceive as great,
because there's some people. Go ahead.
It's not even what I perceive as great. It's just once I realize something that my child is passionate about, I'm going to instill whatever it is that they're passionate about into them. So it's like if they're passionate, if they come to me, because children switch up stuff all the time. I wanted to be a vet when I was little. I wanted to be a singer. I wanted to be this. I wanted to be so many different things. But when I decided I wanted to do something, my mom would ask me, well, why do you want to do that? What makes you feel that that's something that you want to do?
Mm-hmm.
And I would tell her, and we would have a conversation. And then if it was something that, after our conversation,
there's a approving
not
part.
Not even an approving part. If there was something that I really wanted to do and I was really passionate about it, and after we had the conversation, I still wanted to do it, whether she approved of it or not, if she had disagreed with it, and I still wanted to do it because of something that I felt like I wanted to do, she'd be like, okay, well, let's try it out. Because at the end of the day, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's something that you see in it that could be great for you. And then she would go those lengths to do something for me. And then once I go into whatever it is I want to do, like just so I can specify one thing, let's just say it was tennis. If I wanted to play tennis and then she's like, well, I don't know, you're not really athletic, or you don't really run like that, you don't like the da-da-da. And I'm like, but I still want to do it. I want to swing the racket. I think that's going to be fun. She'll be like, okay, we'll try it. And she'll take me to a tennis practice. She'll take me there to learn stuff and figure out how I want to do. And then by the end of it, I'm going to be like, heck no, I'm tired. I don't want to do this. And then I find out something else that I want to do. But I feel like at age, and it's not even about gender. That's a whole different topic. I'm just talking about as growing up, wanting to do specific things. But yeah. I'm just saying, I feel like you should always allow your child to try something, because even if it's not for you and you think it's not for them, let them decide if that's something that they want to practice and keep doing. Because at the end of the day, we can instill our values in our children, because that's all we know. Right. So it's like we can instill our values and whatever we feel in our children. And then if they end up getting older and outside influencers come in, if they see something that makes more sense to them as they age, then I don't have the right to force them to feel how I feel if they have different values. But
but at least they have the foundation.
That's why I said That's why I said personally.
And
then there's a lot of parents that's doing that. That's instilling their whatever values that they perceive are the good values.
The parents. Do you have children?
No.
Okay. I'm glad we established that. But parents, not to slight you or nothing like that, but it's a whole different world when you do have kids. It is a parent's duty to there's a such thing as like a legacy. You know what I'm saying? Let me finish. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a certain thing as like my son. Like, I'm a junior. I'm not exactly like my father, but it's a lot of him in me, and I'm grateful for that. You know what I'm saying? Because he raised me a certain way. He introduced me to a certain set of morals and like religion and stuff like that. But I live a totally different lifestyle than him now. But like, I look exactly like my father. My son looks exactly like me. Like, it's like having a child and raising them up as you would want them to be as adults is a real thing, and it's an important thing. Like, why even have a child if you don't want to send them into the world as a better version of yourself? You don't have to impose that on them, but you can set you should want to live up to a certain example for your child so they go out into the world as a good person. Let me finish. And it's not being a dictator and trying to make them a certain way, but it's nothing wrong with a parent having a certain idea of how they want their child to conduct themselves and beliefs that you would hope that they share with you as their caretaker and the person that is like literally, especially when they kids saving their life like, you don't do everything that entails being a parent without having expectations of your children. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So what I wanted to say, because I know you said that I didn't have children and everything else. I choose not to have children for right now.
Okay.
One, because I want to be financially stable before I have my children. A lot of people are having kids and they still in the hood having kids.
True that.
And then they're gonna say, oh well, I just have a kid, so this is my legacy. No, you just had a kid in the hood that's about to go and shoot up something, and then what? They're gonna die in the street. So that's
another scenario.
That could be an extreme, but I do want to say I choose not to have kids right now because I want to be financially free before I have kids. One, and two, I go to therapy so I can be better and heal my traumas for my own child traumas before I have my child.
Okay.
A lot of people are having kids and they have all these traumas and they're distilling all these traumas into their children. So I just want to let you know that that's the reason. It's not because like I'm not bashing parents or whatever. I just feel like I'm the oldest child of my mom. I've taken care of my sisters and everything else. So whenever I decide to have a child, it's going to be when you never can, like, it's never going to be like, okay, now I'm ready.
It's never the perfect time.
But I just feel like a lot of people need to address a lot of their childhood traumas before having children.
Well, the thing about that is everybody out here fucking. And so people getting pregnant and shit.
Can I say
what?
Can I speak
go ahead.
First of all, I found it. It says, hold on, I'm going to say this and now I'm going to my point.
Go ahead.
In general, men and women cannot reach full maturity until their brains are fully developed at around age 25. However, some studies have shown men do not fully mature until age 43 and that women reach maturity at age 32. That is Google.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to throw that out there. So we're talking about this and kids not having consciousness and all this stuff.
Right.
But that's neither here nor there. One, I feel like this topic is stupid. I feel like, why do I care about how other people raise their children? One,
okay, I can.
That's
I can.
one. Hold on.
I just want to remember that for one.
That's one. Like, who are we to tell parents how to raise their child or what to accept from their child or whether or not they want their child to live the life that they want to or choose to live? Like, who am I to tell some other mother, no, don't let your son transition or don't let your daughter, like, why is this even a topic? Like, why do I care? Like, why does anybody care? I don't know. I'm gonna
comment to that. I'm gonna let you finish. But
I stay out the way and I mind my business.
But that's the thing. People who do that don't stay out the way and mind their business.
Exactly.
They promote it. So you have to speak on it. So it's not.
You don't have to speak on it.
Some people do. Some people should.
Let me finish talking, bro. Let me finish talking.
Okay.
You don't have to speak on it. If they want to push that, I'm going to ignore it. It does not affect me and my household.
You gonna ignore it.
It don't affect me and my household.
But more impressionable people gonna emulate it when it ain't. And that's.
It goes back to parenting. It goes back to parenting, bro. I don't care if if I have a child and their friend Johnny want to be Johanna one day and they come home and say, hey, mommy, Johnny's becoming Johanna. I want to be Johanna too. No, little motherfucker. We don't do that in my house. That's not how we rock over here.
Right.
Like, that's all it is. Like, why do we care what Susan is doing with Johnny/Johanna at her house? Like, I just feel like we need to establish a solid foundation as a family unit. That family unit thing, everything goes back to the family unit. And I hear this topic talked about a lot. And everyone says the white people pushing the agenda, but the only people I see talking about it is black podcasts. And I want to know how many of these black men that's pushing this topic on the podcast are family men. How many of them are in home with the children that they had?
I'm a family man.
If you're a black man and you don't have all your children in your house, don't be talking about Samantha allowing little Johnny become Johanna. That's none of your business because you ain't even got all your kids in your house. Get your family matters in order before you worry about what Susan or Samantha, whatever I named the little white lady. Don't worry about what she's doing with Johnny/Johanna.
Okay.
Because you're not even man enough. You're not even man enough to manage your whole entire household.
Right.
Like, I feel like the black community, we just worry about the wrong things at the wrong time.
Yeah.
I'm LGBT and whatever the rest of the rainbow, the rest of the alphabet they gave us, I don't even know what half of them letters mean. I don't know what anything after T means. I'll be the first to say it. Y'all don't say I'm ignorant. But like I tell her all the time, I'm old school gay. I was gay before it was cool.
Okay,
like,
okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
before it was a fad, right?
Before it was a fad. I was gay before it was cool. Yeah.
That I can respect.
I told you that. I've been gay since the 90s. Like,
okay.
I'm old school gay, baby. So, like, I don't know what everybody got going on. But I come from that time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where we couldn't allow people to affect us. We had to be strong because, one, we had no role models.
Right.
When I was gay, all we had was T.S. Madison. And I only knew T.S. Madison because I'm from Florida. And this was before T.S. Madison had the platform.
I don't even know who that is now.
You know who that is.
You know, everybody knows
Madison?
T.S. Everybody,
You know who that is.
She was on Beyonce's last album, T.S. Madison. Everybody know T.S. Madison.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I know the face or something like that.
Yeah, she has a podcast too, doesn't she?
Yeah.
I probably know her.
Yeah.
When we take a
everybody know
break,
T.S. Madison. Yeah, but yeah, no. All I'm saying is I feel like we're focused on the wrong thing. I don't care what another family doing. All I care about is me and my household and my values and my morals and putting my children out into society. I don't think as black community, a lot of us ain't got our households in order financially, structurally, or all our kids in our house. So I don't think we're in the position to even have this conversation, and that's my stance on the whole thing.
Okay.
And that's why I said it's it's like for me personally.
I had to.
I don't like I don't like confrontation to begin with. Like I'm just from the first point that Neil made in the video.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be called something, whether I agree with it or not, I'm gonna call you that. Because I mean, at the end of the day, if you want to be referred to as he, she, him, her,
it doesn't hurt me.
It doesn't hurt me to call you whatever.
So if I want you to call me magnificent,
I'm gonna call you
me that every time you address me.
What's up, Mag?
Facts.
I don't like that. That's offensive. You gotta say the whole word every time.
A lot of black folks do that too. Don't call me this. My name is Vanetta. Don't call me Netta or V. My name's Vanetta.
And that's what I was gonna go into. It's like even with nicknames. It's like
that's a nick. That's okay. That was a bad example because a nickname is not a pronoun.
What it is I feel it's not a two-way flow on the stream.
It's a demand.
It's a and that's what it is.
And if you don't comply, you're a piece of shit.
And that's what it comes down to. On one side, you have one person that could be saying, "Hey, all right, it's cool. It is what it is. Do you?"
Mm-hmm.
On the other side, one person is saying, "No, this has to go this way or else I'm offended.
Yes.
And I'm offended until you buckle or else you're destroyed to the point where you can't survive on
your
the
life.
planet until you buckle."
But
the ones who were bullied have now become the bullies.
How does that affect the average person, bro? How does that affect the average person?
You can lose your job.
No. The average person does not have the platform to really be affected by those people making those kinds of threats.
Everybody has a platform these days. What you talking about? Everybody got a TikTok.
I
Countless people done lost their jobs from making TikTok videos to their 15 followers. They got 1 million. That one video got 1 million views. and they lost their nursing job because they said something against
years ago that wasn't an issue
against anything
against transgenderism, for example.
I have never seen or heard. This is news to me. I have never seen or heard people losing their job for speaking out against the LGBT.
I can show you some examples.
Right, elemental PZ.
Not so much. Nobody has a problem with the LGBT.
TQIA,
the LGB. Nobody has a problem with the LGB.
And we had that conversation. I told her that.
Yeah, it's LGB. Just the T and the rest of them.
Yeah, I think it's not really the topic of what I don't think it's a topic.
I get that energy from you.
I think it's getting grabbed up into I think it's being misconstrued. The topic is not what he's talking about. The topic is how he's getting treated because they're mad about the fact that he stated how he felt about it to the point where he had to come out and apologize.
He didn't have to apologize. He could have stood on it.
But behind the scenes, he was probably losing a lot of opportunities and shit.
They was about to debate him.
Those are the things you need to consider before you go on a public podcast and say
maybe he did consider it.
No, he didn't.
And then he weighed out the options.
He knew what he was doing. Maybe he did consider it and he was like, fuck that. Ain't nobody gonna tell me how to think and what I can say. And he went on and said it. And then he said it. The shit happened and his publicist released that shit.
Stand on it.
And then he did stand on it. He came out and said this. You seen that?
I seen all the videos.
Okay.
Yeah, I seen everything.
I just want to play it for the people one time. You know what I'm saying? It's still a show.
But my thing is stand on it. Stand on it. Don't allow that to don't allow nobody to make you waver. Because if I say something,
I will never be okay with allowing a child to make a decision that detrimental to their life. I will never be okay with that. I don't care. I definitely plan to educate myself a little bit more on this matter. However, I doubt that there's any book anywhere or any opinion that somebody's gonna tell me that's gonna make me okay with letting a child make a decision like that. That's just period, point blank, and that's how I feel. If I get canceled for this, then you know what? Maybe this is a world where they don't need a Neo no more, all right? And I got no problem with that. I'm a hustler, all right? I'll figure it out. I got kids to raise, and I'm going to do that regardless. So, with that being said, y'all have a good day.
My whole thing is, why does he care about what this kid is doing? I'm not concerned with little 5-year-old.
Really.
I mean, somebody asked him a question on the podcast, you know, and he just voiced his opinion.
And it could have been a response, but it was blown out of proportion.
Thank you. I just want to say this thing. Everyone has freedom of speech.
Right.
You're not taking freedom of speech. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say.
Can you?
You can. No, you really can say whatever the fuck you want to say.
You can.
It's just when you say it, you need to weigh out the options and stand on it. He stood on it. At the end of the day, Neo's gonna be completely fucking fine.
You think so?
What are you talking? Yes, he's.
You see what happened to the baby?
Well, that's him. Neo has hands in different people in different artists' catalogs. Like he has Beyonce, he has a whole bunch of other people that he's written for. He's gonna be fine for the rest of his life.
He probably never work with Beyonce again after what he said.
He made Irreplaceable, so he's straight. Yeah, that's one of the highest songs. Like he's fine.
Yeah, but
he wants to put out his own opinion. That's on him. So no one's canceling freedom of speech. You need to just you can say whatever the fuck you want to say, but you need to weigh out the options as a grown ass man with your undeveloped ass brain. Because everyone can have their own opinions, and that's great. Feel how you feel in the background, but once you go to the foreground and say what you got to say, stand on that shit. And whatever happens to you happens to you.
I think people ain't tripping off people standing on it. It's just people want the penalty for freedom of speech is not equal on all sides.
No.
The penalty for freedom of speech for Neo is what? Shame. He's a millionaire.
What I'm saying,
he's gonna be fine.
What I'm saying,
he's gonna lose some money though.
He is a writer.
What I'm saying is the world is going to a certain way where democracy has gotten so out of hand, where if majority of a number of people rules in any way, any form, any color, what's going on, if they are offended, it is a problem now.
And it's not just...
So politically, you don't have freedom of speech no more.
You do have freedom of speech.
You have freedom of speech.
You have the freedom to say whatever the fuck you want to say. Can you handle the consequences is the question.
Yeah.
So it's about understanding the second and third order
effects. But that consequence only hangs over a certain group.
But if there's
a... say what you want to say.
If there's a detrimental... If there's a detrimental outcome for what you say, is that really freedom of speech?
You absolutely have the
absolutely.
Right and that's the thing. This generation has gotten so.
So what would make it not free? Going to jail?
And that's why I said.
You're not dying. You're not getting threatened to put in jail for your views.
You're a millionaire. You're fine.
I ain't just talking about Neo.
Wait, they are passing anti laws to where you can't say nothing against the LGBT community in certain countries and shit.
I've never seen.
Look at Canada. Look at Canada.
I'm talking about the United States of America.
Look at California.
I think the world has gotten to the point where the people who have been bullied are now the bullies.
Yes, that's where it's going.
That's the way and I'm not speaking on any specific group. I'm speaking because there's so many forms. What happened to Kanye? It's so many forms.
It's not just the LGBT community and shit. It's every
people have said something.
Yeah, it's every oppressed.
Do you believe? Okay, I got a question. So do you with
little
this,
people? Just it's so many.
Yeah. Do I believe what?
With that logic, do you believe that like white people can go out and go on their platforms and say "fuck niggas"? That and they do it all the time.
No,
but do they deserve? My question is, do they deserve to like how you said they can get fired from their jobs or whatever?
Right.
Do they deserve or that penalty? Do they deserve that because they're doing it to black people?
I feel.
Wait.
No, answer the question. Answer the question because by your logic, you're saying that.
But this is what I'm saying. I'm about to answer the question. That's what I was opening my mouth to do.
On me being black, a woman, or gay. I'm not gonna be offended.
But see, I'm the right person to ask that because I don't like me being black is not like on like I'm not like super black or some shit like that. I'm a human being, you know what I'm saying? I know I'm black, but it's not my whole identity and shit.
So can y'all answer the question?
Can you ask it one more time?
Okay, so we were just talking about how freedom of speech is getting taken away and that you can't say certain things to certain people because you'll get penalized, and we shouldn't penalize people for saying what they're saying about the trans community. So if you flip by your logic, if you flip it around, if white folks are going on their platform, if a white Neo goes on his platform and says, well, fuck niggas, they should all die, or whatever the fuck he's gonna say, does he deserve the same penalty? I would think he deserves the same penalty.
He definitely deserves a penalty depending on like the case. You know what I'm saying? Listen, let me answer your question. So if a white guy or a super racist white dude, KKK member, goes on TikTok and he say like, fuck all niggas, I want to kill them all, burn them. You know what I'm saying? Of course, his intention is to be offensive.
Because y'all just talking in circles. I just want to hear the answer to the question.
I just answered the question. It was a yes or no.
No, it's not a yes or no.
You can't ask me. So I'm sorry.
You can't ask me a question like that and expect me to say yes or no.
Well, you can answer it. You're giving me a whole.
Because you gave me a scenario and I'm answering the scenario with a scenario.
No, I mirrored what you just said.
There's a lot of gray area in what you said though. You can't
Being
just expect.
racist?
No, like okay, if a white guy says the N-word at a concert and he's singing it back in a song, is that racist?
No, what she's asking you is, do you think that the penalties are fair?
My point is, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. If I say a man, if I say a man is a man and a woman is a woman, that's a fact. It's not a. It's not a slur.
Biologically.
It's not a slur. Nigga is a slur in the context that you use it like. It's not the same thing. I'm sorry. That was my point. It's not the same thing.
No, that's not
if
what
I
I'm
speak
saying.
a fact and somebody gets offended by it, it's not the same as somebody calling me a nigga.
That's not the same thing.
You're not answering the question.
I am.
Neo didn't say a man, woman. He specifically mentioned a 5-year-old child wanting to transition.
He said another fact.
Okay, how is that a fact? That's not a
fact. What 5-year-old knows what they want to be for the rest of their life?
That's not a fact. That's an opinion. That's all I'm saying.
I think it's a fact. That's why we have so many laws against kids making decisions for themselves.
That's not a fact. That's an opinion. That's an opinion.
If it's a law, it's more than an opinion.
It's not a law.
It's a law everywhere. 5-year-olds can't make no decisions for themselves. They can't get a tattoo. They can't drive a car. They can't drink alcohol.
Okay, let's talk about.
But they can get their penis cut off.
Yeah, in the transition community, in that transgender. Yeah,
but that's ridiculous.
No, not at 5.
They can't get their penis cut off. But they take hormones and things to suppress.
I'm against that too.
But that's also with the parents' consent, though, correct?
With the parents' consent,
they have to have.
But if the parents don't consent, they can take your kid away from you and shit.
They can't walk in. A 5-year-old can't walk into a hospital and say, "Hey, cut my dick off," like, or "Hey, I want hormones to do that." A 5-year-old, that's what he's saying. He's saying they can't. It's illegal. The medical cannot perform or give him any medication without parental consent because of his age. That's all.
So it's more of a fact that what Neo was saying than somebody calling me a nigga. That's all.
He was addressing the parents of the 5-year-old. That's what Neo was addressing. So let's go back to the facts. I'm legal, so you gotta. I deal in facts.
Okay, go ahead.
I deal in like specifically.
I like to deal in facts
displayed.
too. Okay.
So he specifically addressed the parents of the child and the parents allowing the child to do such a thing. That is not illegal. That is not illegal for a parent to allow their child to transition if the child expresses the desire to transition.
But that's not the fact that we speaking to, though. We speaking to the fact that a child can't make that decision.
But that's not what Neo said. He didn't say the child make the decision. The child feels a certain way.
But the parents let the child make the decision.
Exactly. That's my whole point. That's our whole point. You never answered her question. Either one of y'all never answered her question.
I did. How did I do?
What was your answer?
You said it's not the same.
It's not the same thing.
So if
how
you're
is it not the same thing though?
Because he was saying that one's a racial slur and one's a fact.
No,
but that's not.
But
that
wasn't the.
But you brought up.
I know how you. I wish she was saying though. Basically, she was saying.
No, y'all can't. I'm gonna tell you what I was saying, y'all.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you what I was saying.
Then we can move to another topic and shit.
Hey y'all.
Yeah, don't get heated. We just have debating shit.
No. This happens. We do this every week.
Okay.
We hang out every week.
And by the way, I'm not a team. I'm Billy Primo. I'm signed to myself. I just want to go ahead and throw that. That's been sitting on my spirit.
Okay.
So
go ahead.
I believe that.
Got light in the mood.
The penalty of him having his opinion. Everyone has an opinion,
right?
And everyone's opinion may not be the majority, and that's okay. You can still have your own opinion, your own personal preference, whatever. So what I'm saying is that because he got penalized because of what he said, we can use that analogy and say the same exact thing for a white person who's an artist. Let's say he's a big executive that says something racial about black people and all his artists underneath him are black. So does he deserve to get penalized the same exact way?
Well, I actually think he should get penalized. Yeah. Actually, that's walking into what I was actually saying when I meant by there's a group that
still
does
comparing
not,
apples and oranges and
but
shit.
No. Let me finish this. What I'm saying is there's a group that does not get penalized. There's a group that can actually come out and say whatever they want about how another group does and say it's wrong, and there is no penalty for that.
Who's not getting penalized?
I'm just saying the way the world is going.
But what group are you referring to?
Any group. We could say LGBTQ if we want to link it to a specific one, but
I think specifically trans people and shit.
I don't want to say specific because I think the whole world, has gotten sensitive to where if you can get enough momentum behind something that's sensitive now, the world is gonna say don't do that. And
it's gonna turn in on itself because before you know it, we already reached the point where like everybody offended for every goddamn thing. You can't even breathe without somebody being offended by it. Look at Lizzo. Lizzo got her own dancers coming out talking about she was fat shaming them.
But my thing
that's
is,
like some upside down world shit.
That was a lot more than fashion.
And let's not pretend, Tommy and Artillery specifically, that we ain't behind the scenes in the music industry, that we ain't been doing this for a while and we know what's really going on. So I don't even think you can even bring Lizzo into this right now because we already know what's really going on.
Yeah.
You gotta elaborate. I know.
I'm not gonna elaborate. I got too many ties to the industry to elaborate on anything. I mind my business.
Okay.
I think it's time for a new topic.
Yeah, let's go. Let's move.
Shout out to the trans community. I love y'all.
Here we go.
Hey, I ain't got nothing against y'all, but you know, whatever community it is, if I see some bullshit, I'm gonna speak up about it and shit. Or I wouldn't even be doing the podcast.
Shout out to the trans. I love y'all.
Oh, why are you so? You seem so committed to trans people.
Well,
do you have a trans person in your life?
No, like for me, I am a dark-skinned, black, gay woman. You don't get lower than that.
What? Who says? That was a horrible thing to say about yourself.
Not even.
She's talking about by society.
No, by society standards, don't do that. So
but who says that?
What do you? There's colorism that's fighting me. There's misogyny that's following me. Racism.
How does colorism affect your life personally to yours? I just want to know.
So if it was me versus someone, did you ever see that Rick Ross clip when they had that girl that was in that dark skinned girl that could sing her ass off and everything? Then they had that light skinned girl that came up and just couldn't do shit, and they picked the light skinned girl.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I can see what you're talking about.
Like I feel like getting getting in certain, like I can't get in, well I can, but like because of colorism, I think colorism is actually getting demolished because no one really cares about that anymore like that. But I think in like back in the day, I feel like darker women couldn't get certain opportunities, or there'll be like or even like an actress, like you couldn't get certain roles. It was like a red line because you were a darker woman, and because they thought that dark women weren't attractive, they weren't.
But you had dark skinned supermodels and shit. See me, I just stopped you on that point.
Don't use that one little.
I just use them ones and twos now. Don't be giving me exceptions to the rules.
For me, I stopped you on you saying that because I don't subscribe to none of that shit. You know what I'm saying?
And you're not.
Nothing holds me back.
You're not representing the entire United States of America.
No, exactly. I'm representing me.
No, nothing is holding me back. But I'm just saying, I'm speaking for my experience, and a lot of other dark-skinned women, they feel inferior in some way, because of what a lot of black men.
Really?
A lot of black men. It don't even really be the white people.
What black men be doing to y'all?
You don't have no black friends, no black male friends that.
I don't fuck with niggas after 6. No, I'm just playing. I be to myself though, but
see, that's the thing. Every time we have a topic, everyone just can't be the exception to the rule all the time. That's why we can't really a lot of black people right now. We're in a good space. I feel like Afro beats and all that shit really kind of brought us kind of together. With it, no one's not bleaching and doing all that extra stuff anymore like that.
Bleaching?
I think dark.
You gotta realize that she has a cultural background too. She's Jamaican.
She's Jamaican, yeah.
And if you've never lived as a dark-skinned black woman, you would never understand. My mother's a dark-skinned woman, so growing up, I've always heard the struggles of a dark-skinned woman because all of her brothers and sisters are light-skinned. She's the only dark-skinned.
Okay, so she had it harder.
She had
colorism is hard.
Colorism is hard, and then like my mother she has a lot of Jamaican and Haitian friends, like a lot of Caribbean friends. My mom don't have too many American friends.
Mm-hmm.
And like just hearing their stories and stuff like that about how because she's Jamaican, how colorism is really bad in those cultures.
Within Jamaica.
Within those cultures.
Amongst Jamaicans.
Even in America, my mother's American. Even in America, like the hardship she had as a dark-skinned woman. And I think that's probably why today I have such an attraction to dark-skinned women, because I'll tell you in a minute, I only date dark-skinned women.
Okay.
But just hearing those stories. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend, and we can't pretend just because you haven't lived those experiences and walked in those shoes. You can't invalidate someone else's experience.
No, I'm not trying to pretend. Yeah. That's why I asked her, like, what is your experience in that?
Yeah.
You know
so I'm, like everyone knows, I'm Jamaican. So, and growing up, I've lived partially in Jamaica and partially in Maryland and New York and stuff like that. And going home sometimes, it's just it's actually it's a bundle of irony. Because it's just y'all blacker, we all black, but I would get teased for being the darkest one, or I would get teased for, your hair's nappier than mine. And it's so much hypocrisy, because then what are we gonna do? We all gonna go down and go to the store and go get some bleaching cream. We all gonna bleach out.
So do you think it's worse in Jamaica, or do you think there's a difference? Is it just as bad in Jamaica as it is in America, or do you find
it's all terrible? But I don't.
Do you get it worse when you go back home?
Actually, no, I'm great now. My parents has always instilled that I'm beautiful, and I know I'm beautiful, so that hasn't been a problem. It's sometimes when you're a child and you get bullied for little things, and sometimes those things instill into you I think for me I didn't truly accept myself until I was about 20.
Yeah.
I didn't accept my skin color and who I was, and that this is not coming off. Yeah. Whether I scrub it off, bleach it off, it's not coming off. So for me, it's a lot of dark-skinned women in Jamaica and a lot of Haitian and countries like that. So in the Puerto Rican, the Spanish countries, they got it hard. The Asian, pretty much every diaspora has colorism, and it's,
Yeah. I mean, and don't think I'm trying to
go ahead,
say that I'm, because of that, it's the same situation, because it's not. Colorism is a whole big thing. But I kind of feel you, because I was the same way when I was younger, because I'm short. I'm 4'10". I've been 4'10".
Not too short.
I'm short. Okay, I'm 4'10". I've been 4'10" since the 7th grade. I've been the shortest person in the room every single time. And I used to wear heels all the time because I was so insecure about it. And it wasn't until I got older that I was like, you know what? I actually like being short, and I stopped wearing the heels and stuff like that. And so I really just accepted it. It's just a certain point in your life when you get older when you start to accept things about yourself that you may have gotten bullied about when you were younger. And I think it also goes back to, as a child, when you're growing up like that, a lot of outside influences can really, really affect how you feel about yourself personally. But then when you get to a point where you're of age, when you're older, when you are moving in a certain way, where you actually are like, you know what, F them. I accept myself as a beautiful black woman, beautiful light-skinned woman, beautiful short.
Yeah, I feel like
I can agree with
everybody
you
go
in a
through
general
that.
state. In a
general state,
generally.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody go through that in different ways and shit.
I've always
But
loved
I
myself.
agree with that.
I think
Always?
I cannot relate to any of this at all.
You never had an insecurity or a doubt in yourself?
No. First of all, I
Come
grew
on
up in
now.
a 2-parent home. No, never.
Okay.
And y'all don't understand why. So I grew up in a 2-parent home. My father has validated me from the day I was born, right? So I never needed nobody to ever validate me because I'm a daddy's girl, one. So I think that dynamic and having my father in my life played a lot into my confidence.
Right.
And who I am as a person. No one can break me down. I don't care what nobody think about me. So you gotta realize I came out at 14. My mother's a pastor, right? I came out at 14. She didn't accept it. My father, he had my back or whatever the best way because he was like, I just want you to be the best you can be, you know what I'm saying? And then my mom just thought it was a phase initially. And then I turned 17. I was still gay and I cut off all my hair. And that's the whole thing. Now you got to get out my house. I said, okay. You going to get out my house, you going to leave that gay shit alone. I left the house. I've always been the type of person to stand on what I say. I've never been insecure, like in anything. So no, I cannot relate to none of these topics. You know what I'm saying?
I think like
None of
insecurity and having effects on colorism are two different things.
Well, he asked about insecurity.
But that's you don't think that's an insecurity?
Like I'm insecure for
being insecure about the perception of like how you think people perceive you because you're dark skinned?
No. I don't think. I think.
I'm not. I think you look at the word insecure is a bad word or something like that.
Like I'm not insecure. I love who I am. I'm not insecure. I feel like back when I was younger, it was more of like a bullying. But it could. It's and for
but that'll
me,
breed an insecurity though. That's
it
what I'm
could breed
saying.
an insecurity. Yeah.
Did it breed an insecurity back then though?
Back then, yeah, I would think. Yeah.
So,
I can agree.
Yeah, back then. That's why I said
I can agree.
Yeah, because you said it took you a long time to accept yourself and stuff, so you was insecure.
Well, yeah.
It's nothing wrong with being everybody
no.
insecure about some shit.
Right.
You know
I'm
saying?
just
except for Billy Primo.
Yeah, except for Billy Primo
Billy
over
not
here.
insecure about nothing.
I ain't insecure about shit. I'm secure in everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
We understand.
I think for me right now, I think I'm secure now. I just think that just being in a room with people who, think you're ugly because you're dark skinned is just, it does a lot for you. But I feel like now I don't give a fuck. I'm out the house.
Yeah.
Like
Let me ask you this. Do you ever think you had that assumption?
No.
And were wrong?
Like I thought I was not
like
ready.
you were in a room and you felt like people was like giving you the cold shoulder because you dark skinned.
They would literally say, "You're ugly. You're dark skin." Like
come on, how often did that
booty
happen?
Scratcher.
No, I swear to God. I swear to God.
Booty
I swear to
scratcher.
God. I can even tell y'all a story. One time when I was in Jamaica, I was 10, and my little sister was 1, and she's like a bright. She brighter than you. Like she's a light bright. And I brought her outside, and my aunt came back. She told me bring her inside.
If you don't mind.
I don't mind.
How you pussy?
Me too.
Not how you pussy.
Thought I'd throw it out.
I can't even tell.
Go ahead.
So I'm being 10 and having a little 1-year-old sister. I like to bring her out and play with her, whatever. And my aunt told me to bring her inside. And she said it in patois, but she said, bring her inside or she gonna be as black as you. Yeah. So I think that for me, like, I have a different culture. I have a different experience. Like that shit down there is like terrible. Like all the artists down there, or most of the artists, they bleached. Vibes Cartel bleached out. Like a lot of artists are bleached out because they don't like.
I
who
seen
they are.
that. Didn't Lil Kim bleach herself and shit too? She looked crazy.
We ain't gonna do Kim like that, man.
Shout out to Little Kim. I love you.
Shout out to her, but Kim,
We ain't gonna do Kim like that, man.
they don't love you, Kim.
We still love you.
Don't forget.
Whoever handling you do not love you, Kim. You
Don't
look
forget.
ridiculous out here.
Don't do that because you remember she was in like 3 domestic violence and she got her nose broken like 4 times. Like she had to reconstruct her nose.
Shit happens to people.
I love you, Little Kim.
But she still look crazy, and somebody need to tell her that, and I will be the person.
Well, no, because we don't want to breed the insecurity.
That shit said. She said she had problems with being dark skinned for a long time though.
Yeah, a lot of people, and that goes into colorism. It's because they're bullied when they're younger.
Right,
I didn't have that problem.
But everybody bullied. Not to discount your experience, but everybody is bullied. I was bullied for some shit when I was young. I can't remember what, but
I think it's more because you ever see a lot of actors and they'll play. I feel like someone played Nina Simone. It was one of the, I forgot what, something Rodriguez. She played Nina Simone, and Nina Simone's a dark skinned black woman. They got a Hispanic woman, tanned her skin, put on a prosthetic nose, and like it's more than just that. It's like they're excluding you from opportunities because you're dark skinned. Like,
but that's over. They don't do that no more.
Yes, they do. Coco Jones is dope, but what is she doing? Like, she's not popping like.
Who is Coco Jones?
Exactly.
Ooh, come on.
I'm sorry. I don't know.
You're not gonna know, because of colorism. You're not gonna know any of the dark skinned females.
I'm supposed to know all the dark skinned females in the world.
Hold on, I'm gonna ask you.
I think if they're
Shout out to
dope
Coco,
enough
you
to
know-
be known.
Just tell me who
You know Big Boss Vet.
No,
You know Flo Milli.
I heard that name before.
Because they're dark skinned women.
Come on,
Point proven. Mic
is
drop.
SZA dark skin?
She's a brown skin.
She's brown skinned.
What? Okay, is Summer Walker? She dark skin?
She's brown skin.
brown
Oh my
skin.
god,
Walker not dark skin.
she's brown skin.
Who dark skin?
Exactly.
I think Remy
Coco
Ma
Jones.
kind of as dark as it get for
JT
the
pretty
women
black.
right now.
JT's dark skin, yeah.
She
Cash
poppin'?
Doll.
That's one name.
Cash Doll.
I don't follow female rap
She's not
as much.
big.
Have you?
Oh, okay, I see.
Name somebody big and like
You
super
can't.
prominent.
You can't because
Yes, you
it doesn't
can.
exist.
That's a dark skinned woman. Missy Elliott is all we got.
Oh well, yeah.
Missy
That's true.
Elliott.
That's true.
But that's
I feel like
that's all
she
we
ain't
got.
that dark though.
Missy Elliott's dark
dark
skin.
skin. She's dark skin.
Lauren Hill, she kind of black.
She had one hot album.
Come on, she considered as one of the best lyricists of all time. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, and we're gonna go into another debate. So I'm gonna start off the next topic, and I'm gonna say it like this: Lauryn Hill is not a legendary artist. She had one legendary album.
I gotta zoom in
Mic
on
drop.
you.
But the reasoning though.
Lauryn Hill.
But the
Let me repeat it.
reasoning.
No. She had one,
But
and
there's
we
a
need to be honest about this. Black community, hip hop community.
Yeah, she ain't did nothing since then.
I'm not talking
But
bad
it's a
on Lauryn Hill.
reason.
She is a dope lyricist.
Yeah.
But her legendary status is in question because she could not replicate it. So can she truly be a legend is the question.
And she have
But
like
she
kids
had-
and
she
She
come
had
on.
one legendary album.
I thought it was politics as to why she didn't.
Yeah,
drop.
it was something.
I don't know.
Wasn't
I don't
that
know
she
They
this.
didn't allow her.
I'm-
She stepped away on the Dave Chappelle
I'm just
type
I'm just a
time.
consumer of
The
hip hop
industry-
music. I don't know the politics that goes on within the hip hop community or the backgrounds.
The industry
But
was coming at her in
from
a
my
way where they was trying to
perspective-
make her wear dresses and switch her image up, and she bucked on the whole situation because she just ain't want to be that type of artist.
I understand. The same reason I didn't sign. The same reason I didn't sign.
Yeah, she backed
I
away.
understand.
Yeah.
So that's why they only got one.
It's a new dark skinned rapper that either Swiss Beat signed. She like the new DMX, but female.
You talking
Scarlett.
about Scarlett?
Scarlett. Yeah, I know about her. She dark, ain't she? Dark as shit.
Why you look like that?
Not to offend. I'm black. Yeah, I can say that, right?
You can say dark as shit.
Yeah, she dark
You get a
as shit.
pass.
You can't say dark as shit.
We don't give light skinned men that pass. We don't give brown skinned men that pass.
I didn't mean
Not like
You don't get, it's like
Not
it's like the N word, bro. If you're not dark skinned, you can't say dark as shit.
Okay, well she's rather
can say
she's
whatever.
rather dark. Can I say it like that?
She's
Freedom
dark
of
skinned.
speech.
I don't know. I think her career is still kind of new. It's gonna be interesting to see where she goes the next few years.
She got a lot of heavy hitters behind her.
Usually the
do.
darker
She
women
do.
are the ones that are aggressive though. Like if
Yeah.
you look at Scarlett, she's aggressive.
I think-
if you look
Do
at
you guys
Foxy
rap
Brown,
aggressively?
she's aggressive.
I think Scarlett is gonna have to have more than just be a dope rapper to really make it as a dark skinned woman. And I think the reason that we can only think of Missy Elliott when we think of like dark skinned female artists, that rappers specifically that's really made it, is because Missy was undeniable. She was writing for everybody. She was producing for everybody. Her creativity was next level. Missy, so in order to be, and this goes to the point, as a dark-skinned woman, you have to be undeniable, which Missy Elliott was.
Okay.
Everybody else can be replicated or copied into a light-skinned woman.
But this is the last thing I'm gonna say about the whole dark skinned women in rap. Like I feel like a lot of women in general don't make it in rap, so it's a really tight and too
That
small
argument
like
no longer applies as of
group.
2020. that I would say we've seen the biggest boom of female rappers from 2020 to now. Then
it's still just a handful. It's still a handful of them, though.
It's not. You don't follow female rap.
I follow it a little bit and know who the hottest ones out.
A little bit's not gonna get you. There's.
I know the hottest ones out, and that's what we talking about.
We're not talking about just the hottest. We talking about it's some female rappers that you may have never heard of.
It's really always been female rappers that I never heard of.
That's really making money though in hip hop right now.
Okay,
like it's some female rappers that's really making a bag in hip hop right now. And
really?
Yes.
Wait a minute. Let's take a break.
Yeah,
real quick, and then we can get on the female rap too, because I feel like y'all got a lot to say about that.
I don't.
Nah, you was bugging up on
I'm a female rapper.
I know, so you should have a lot to say about it.
I love all the girls.
I love the girls too. You know I love women. I eat pussy.
I'm so glad I'm recording right now.
Man, look, hold on, stop. Mama, I didn't say that. He told me I had to say that per the contract I signed to be on this podcast. Mom, that's what he did. My mama gonna watch this.
Your mama go watch? Yeah. I won't put this part in there.
She gonna give me a whooping and put me on punishment.
That gonna be the specific person he block out from all the videos.
Yeah, just give me anybody who you want to block from it.
Yeah, make sure you block my mama.
Okay.
Mama, I love you.
She blocked.
P.O.P. Hold it down. Damn. Okay. So let's move on to another topic.
Yes,
like another hip hop topic.
Oh, can we talk about Melle Mel?
That's what I'm getting to.
Okay, about time. I can't wait.
Your boy Melle Mel. I know all y'all probably heard the diss track.
No, to be honest, I
heard the diss track.
We R&B girls.
I heard the diss track.
If it could be called a diss track.
It's a diss track.
It's a diss track.
It was a diss track because there was a name attached to it and it was addressed in scent.
It
was a diss track.
It was an attempt.
And what the thing was, the thing with Melle Mel is the reason why his diss track was not trashed and it was respected is because in the era of hip hop that he came out in, his way of rapping was the top.
He never left that era,
rap.
my nigga.
Bro,
so
he was not. That diss track is not respected. I'm gonna send you some TikTok videos.
But what I'm saying,
Go ahead, finish up.
What I'm saying is he came with a style that was so outdated it was impossible for us in this generation to like it.
To
but
digest
he dropped that,
bullshit.
Had he dropped that back in his time, the person responding with a diss would have responded with a diss of that caliber.
I know.
It's just now we've got so complex with how we flip words and rap.
Yeah.
That now it's like the old man going to box with the 20-year-old.
Yeah, it's like he went on a time machine.
Yeah,
back to the DeLorean, got in the DeLorean and went back and made that.
See, the hair turns gray.
Time machine. I don't think he ever left the time period.
Nah, he literally raps like somebody from hip hop.
Let's listen to it.
I want to hear it.
It's the one.
It's the one.
No apologies. This ain't a disclaimer. I'm the king of legend, the first Hall of Famer. Making diss tracks, I know you with that. Now everybody get ready for the kickback. Why you hurt? Why you mad? Now you look bad. Like a roach just crawled out of your book bag. In a pack clad, you black clad. Go to bed with no supper, cause you gotta suffer the backlash. The top 5 is cap. You the piss just on the floor in the elevator of rap. Why you ducking on the game when you shit on my name? Why they put Pee Wee Herman in the Hall of Fame? I would give you.
Okay, let's break down some of these bars.
Please. Like a roast just
I'm gonna sit this
came out of your backpack. Bro, in that day, that shit would have been trash. I don't care what era of hip hop you drop that, it's trash.
If you go back and you listen to his era of hip hop and how
it's not his delivery, it's not his style, bro. Those bars were whack.
It's whack to us, but if you go back and listen to his era of hip hop and listen to the songs and the verses,
bro, those bars were. Bro, I'm going bars, bro.
That's like when we listen to that
song. I'm talking about bars.
When we listen to that song and the white girls singing about aliens coming out of the duck. That's how they rapped then. It was stupid, dumb bars.
Bro, his bars was trash. Those bars was trash.
Even back then, them bars was trash.
Yeah, bro, them bars would have been trash in any decade of hip hop. It could have, bro, that song could have been the first hip song ever made, and them bars would have been trash.
That's like if you pull up that "Don't Push Me." Cause if you listen,
that's hard though. That's a hard line.
If you listen to the verse and the bars and actually listen to it, you'll be like, "What the heck?"
No, bro, no.
That's a hard ass quote right there, though.
I would sample it, but what I'm saying is how they rap back then. it wasn't complex.
It's not about the how.
You saying he rapped in that old school cadence.
He's outdated.
Bro.
But even
if the bars was hard, I would have respected it, bro.
If he would have flipped that shit in his old school way and said some hard ass shit,
he ain't say shit hard.
Then I could have respected. But he was on there saying his roaches crawling out a book. Let's listen to the rest of that shit.
He said, "Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by his toes."
You a pound, but I break your hand. I got a lawyer so white, he will take your land. Yo, check your man, come and look at your friend, cause I think that Eminem is popping pills again. We call him.
Let's run it back.
No apologies, this ain't a disclaimer. I'm the king of legend, the first Hall of Famer. Making diss tracks, I know you with that. Now everybody get ready for the kickback. Why you hurt, why you mad, now you look bad. Like a roach just crawled out of your book bag. In a pack clad, you lack class. Go to bed
like a roach just crawled out of your book bag.
The top five is cap, you the piss just on the floor. In the elevator of rap. Why you ducking on the game when you shit on my name? Why they put
I know it's, I definitely know it's not Eminem caliber. But I do understand why it sounds like that.
I don't care about the sound. I'm talking about the bars. I'm going strictly off bars.
Yeah.
All due respect to Melle Mel and what he's done for hip hop.
Retired.
You know, all due
retired.
Switching that shit, but yeah, all due respect to him and what he did, like back in the day for hip hop and shit. But
no, that was not it.
That ain't it.
That ain't.
Oh y'all, you see. That was an old clip. I'm not gonna play that in this episode. It just kind of popped up, but we can talk about it. I feel like we talked about trans stuff too much.
Yeah, no.
Let's try to do one topic a episode.
I love you, trans community.
Yeah,
please stay my fans.
But anyway, we was talking about
Melle Mel.
Yeah, Melle Mel.
It ain't it.
Should Eminem?
It
reply?
wasn't giving.
Oh my God! If I was M, I would roll back over and go back to sleep. Like that's not even like how dare you disrespect me like that to even attempt to come at me with such lackluster bars. Like this not worth responding to.
It was very brave of him though to like put that out there.
I think he responded out of the culture of hip hop. He had to respond.
I think he should have got a ghostwriter. I understand back in his day they didn't do that, but he needed to reach out to somebody to ghostwrite that song.
How old is Melle Mel though?
Melle Mel is one of the godfathers.
He's the godfather of hip hop.
But how old is he? Like
we
right now?
We talking. These are the breaks.
Yeah,
have you ever listened to the verse on These Are the Breaks though?
I don't know how old he is. He gotta be in his 80s.
Like, have you ever listened? But seriously though, have you ever listened and like really listened to the verse on These Are the Breaks? The verse is like that. It's just in that time that was hip hop for them. It's just now we've got so complex that we rap so fast. We flip the words. The metaphors are one of those guys. That's like if you listen to LL Cool J and you listen to LL Cool J and Cannabis's battle.
He's 62 years old.
People look at this as one of the greatest battles of all time.
Yeah.
But if you listen to the battle, you'll be like, yeah, these bars ain't really. It really wasn't complex. But for the time, that's how people rap.
Of course, but you wouldn't hear
LL and them were doing it. But if you was to take LL and put that shit beside Ether, it'll be a blowout.
But that's
because
why
it's a different era of hip hop.
But that's why none of them would come out with nothing today.
Bingo. That's why I said he should have stayed retired.
But my thing is, even with the old sound he had, even when you say that they were simplistic, it was simplistic because it was a song back in the day. He's doing a diss. If he would have did that same diss back in that time, it still would have been trash because it's a diss. Trash.
You're mad like a roach just came out your back.
But this is the thing.
Because even in the battle rap that you was talking about, the diss is still hit.
The diss is hit.
This is still hit.
Yeah.
The diss is hit, bro.
That's what I'm saying. If you pull up a diss from his time, from anybody in that era, okay, all right, we'll check that out.
What's another diss?
Just anybody, just pull up Grandmaster Flash disses or just anybody from that era. He's from that era of hip hop.
I don't know if I want to sit through another one of those.
But I can almost guarantee it ain't gonna sound like that.
I know. I understand what you're trying to say. You know what I'm saying? You giving them the caveat that he's an older rapper.
Yeah, I just know what it. I know it. I'm just a student of hip hop. And I know what hip hop sounded like then. I know. And when I heard it, I was like, oh man, he's rapping like it's 1980, 87. Like,
yeah, that was his mistake, but it was a fatal mistake.
Either way, he lost. You come to battle, you come to battle.
Eminem is arguably one of the greatest lyricists of my lifetime.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
He shouldn't have jumped out there.
And I'm not going.
Not with that.
I'm not with that. I would have hired a ghostwriter. I'm just being honest.
Facts.
I would have hired a ghostwriter. If I was gonna come at M, I would have hired a ghostwriter to come at M.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just being real.
Because was anything in the diss a fact, or were they all just like?
Nah, it was.
Maybe he got roaches
roasted
coming out his backpack.
Right.
It sounded like he freestyled that shit.
Yeah, it's just.
He old school. I'm pretty sure
It
he
was hip hop.
freestyled.
He probably got in
It was
there.
hip-hop.
He probably got in there his b-boy stance.
It's
and
just
shit.
granddad came out
the
to say I
chains
can
and the
still
Adidas
hang with
suit.
the young.
With
He was
the
in the
Adidas
booth
sweatsuit
like,
and the chains, bro.
They're coming out of your book bag.
Baby,
He thought he was doing something.
you remember when we was watching a segment one time together, and we had seen it and we looked at it, and it was when they were doing we was watching a video, and it was like YouTube, like on YouTube they was doing a BET thing during COVID where everybody was performing in their house.
Yes.
He was the guy that when the screen came, he had his head in a hat like this, and we died.
I remember.
He's from that era of hip hop, bruh.
But even
like,
if he
that's
from
just
that,
him.
even if he from that era though, it's still what the sad part is even if it wasn't Eminem he was dissing, it would have still been trash.
Oh, it was trash. It was trash.
But let me tell you,
Overall, it's trash.
I'm a battle rapper, so I understand. It was definitely trash.
I can't believe you gave him a pass and you a battle rapper.
I ain't give him.
That speaks a lot.
I didn't give him a pass, but I do respect.
Let's give him a
I
pass.
respect the pioneers of hip hop.
I do too.
and I do understand his era and what it sounded like compared to ours.
Yeah.
Okay.
And his era, that's his era.
Yeah.
That was how complex it was. But it was dope for them.
I can give you that.
It was dope for them.
I can give you that. But even
Them bars.
simplistic bars could have been bars.
Yeah.
That was just not even
That's why I said
bars.
It was
that's
just
why I
really
said
bad,
if you go
man.
back and listen
Bad.
to if you go back and listen to that era of hip hop, all of it's gonna sound bad to you.
Nah.
I don't think so. I
You
don't
got
think so.
classic
I
songs
don't
in
think so.
there and shit. You know,
You
like
got classic
timeless.
hooks. When you listen to the verse, they sound like that.
Even the verses are better. You know what I'm saying? It's from that era, but it's the best.
In the room and I stared
But
my
that's
heart.
not his.
Like that was hard, bro. Like he painted that picture
I
like,
need
damn,
love.
bro.
But LL
Like, I
Cool
felt
J
that.
is not Melle Mel's era of hip hop.
He's a
before
generation.
that.
He's a decade removed.
He rapped like LL Cool
He
J
is
used
a
to rap.
decade
LL
removed.
Cool J used to rap like that.
LL was further down the line. Mel is back there with breakdancers
I know, but
and real
that's
hip
why
hop, man.
the bottom line is he should have never came out with
Yeah,
that shit
that's what I
in
said. He just-
See
2023.
how old LL Cool J
But
is.
I just want to know. I just want to
Yeah,
know
because I'm
who,
pretty sure he's like a decade removed. That's
Nah,
it.
LL was out with cannabis in them. Come
I
on,
know,
like,
but
that's
what you-
another era.
But
you
my
was
thing
saying?
is, he ain't got no friends.
Onyx and shit like that.
Got no
Like,
friends.
he ain't got no friends. He ain't got nobody. There was nobody to listen to this diss track before it came out and was like, bruh, let me. Like,
Man, he's pretty
let me
old.
maybe
so.
maybe say
He should have hit up Cool Mo D like, hey, bro, what you think about this? Before I put it up.
Bruh.
Maybe he did.
Yeah.
He didn't hit up Cool Mo because Cool Mo.
Is Kumo
See,
still alive?
Like I said, he's 62. The other guy 62, LL 55. They're like a
55.
decade removed, bro.
But I'm talking about the
I think
era of
LL would
hip
do
hop
better
they
than
were
that if he
in.
came
Yeah.
out.
LL would
The era of
definitely-
hip hop
It would
they
still
were in
probably
still
be
was
trash.
different.
They're like 10 years apart, bro. In hip hop year, like legitimately 10 years apart.
That's
bro.
a drastic sound change. Though.
That is a drastic sound change.
drastically.
It is.
Well,
They was
somebody.
in his era. They was Dr. Seuss.
Okay.
They was Dr. Seuss in their
But
era.
even Dr. Seuss had bars.
Yeah. That shit was just trash,
One,
man.
two,
But this is the thing. I'm not denying that it
red
was
fish,
trash.
blue fish.
I'm not
Talking
denying.
about
I'm
Green
not
eggs and
denying
ham?
that it was trash.
Sam,
though.
I am.
Sam,
nigga.
I am. Like, come
What?
on, man.
I'm not denying that it was trash. I'm just saying I understand.
Say it's trash.
Nah,
Nah. In all
Tell the
seriousness,
truth,
I
man.
respect that. I get what you're
Yeah.
saying. He's not gonna openly diss a pioneer hip hop, and I respect
I
that.
respect
Like
that,
I'm over
yeah.
here, I'm clowning. I give Kumo D his prop. Like he said, he is
Yeah.
a pioneer. But I'm gonna talk my shit about that diss track.
Yeah, that diss track wasn't it
I mean,
though.
I meant Melle Mel. I did say Kumo D.
If we was judging
Kumo
a
D
battle,
could
he
never
would
or
lose.
would never.
Y'all ever been dissed on the track?
Oh no.
It was
On
crazy.
the track, I've been dissed on social media.
Yeah.
No.
I'm gonna be honest. I was dissed on the track like years ago, and I obliterated him. But the thing about it, yeah, usually I'm the attacker. Like I'm the rapper where if something happens on social media with me, you better be ready because I'm dissing.
Oh, for real?
Straight up, I'm a rapper. I'm a lyricist. Where your pen at? Don't say nothing to me outside in public. You don't want these tabloids. If my name in your mouth, I'm dissing you. I want your fans.
So
I'm
question.
At
So you would respond to that diss track if it was you?
Oh yeah, I would respond to it. I'm responding to everything that comes in.
To the Melle Mel diss track?
I'm a battle rapper at heart. If you say my name, I'm dissing you.
I'm not wasting my time.
Even if I give you one bar, I'm responding.
Okay, well let me put it.
I'm responding.
I can see one bar.
I get what you're saying, but let me say this.
This is hip hop.
If it wasn't him specifically, say it was somebody that was just nobody knows him. He just decided one day he wanted to. Nobody know who he is.
I'm gonna drop
right
a
now,
bar.
Melle Mel is like you said, he's one of the.
I'm gonna look at that. I'm gonna look at that little rapper and I'm gonna say, "Oh, that's cute." And I'm gonna get on the stage and I'm gonna say, "I'm about $1. What the fuck is 50 cents? You getting a bar? You getting a bar?" No, this is hip hop. I'm a rap. That's what I'm saying. I'm a real rapper. I'm a rapper.
Right.
I'm at the cypher. They beating on the tables. No, you say my name, you're getting dissed. Okay.
I'm not replying. I'm not replying. I'm not that rapper.
Yeah. I'm not replying. I'm not that rapper either. I'm not gonna waste my time.
I like the sport of this shit.
I think no response is a response.
Yeah, silence is a response.
Sometimes people are just like beneath you and shit, and like not responding to them like burns even more. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna dig with y'all.
Get your peon ass out of here,
that's
nigga.
Cool
like,
on a personal level, but on a hip hop level, I'm responding if you say my name on wax.
Bro, no matter who it is. No matter
who it is.
But are you responding on the first one? So say if you, I get it, you're going to respond because somebody dissed you. I get that. But what if it continues? Like what if you respond and then they come out with something whack? It's still whack. It's still trash. Are you going to re-respond? Keep re-responding?
This is the thing. If I obliterate you, it's over anyway. But what I'm saying is my diss might not even have a name on it. It might just be a bar I threw in a song,
yeah, you
but
might just put it in a verse.
I'm responding with that pen, bro.
Okay.
I'm not.
Whether they know it or not, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not.
I'm hip hop. I'm real hip hop, man. And that's how I came up. And I'm one of them artists where if their camera's out and we at Meek Mill house or something, and they saying, yeah, he won 3,000 at night. Yeah, he smoked them at the pool table. Okay. Dog, anytime, anywhere, I'm hip hop. We rapping.
I got you.
Yeah,
I'm more of like a songwriter and shit.
Yeah, so it's different. I'm a cipher guy.
I got you. Yeah. Like I told you last podcast, I never was like in the lunchroom in high school, like in the cipher with niggas and shit. You know what I'm saying?
I was freestyle singing, like.
Oh yeah.
There won't no dissing that. Yeah, I was just freestyle singing.
Yeah, but I understand the sport of it and shit. What y'all think about like the dynamic between Meek Mill and Drake now after Drake did what he did to him?
I think it was all staged to begin with.
Yeah, it was politics because at the end of the day, Drake ain't win the battle.
Who?
Drake ain't win the battle.
How?
Because the thing is, Drake won the politics.
Drake won every aspect.
Drake absolutely won the war.
He won the war.
Drake.
What part of the battle did he lose though? I missed that.
What I'm saying, when we say Drake and Meek Mill, remember I speak from hip hop perspective.
Okay.
Based on lyrics, bars, and how they came at each other, Drake did not beat him with a nice song that we sang the hook to, and because it was popular and it sounded better, we went for it. Real battle rappers is like, no, you supposed to be attacking him, not just making cute statements. And it was a nice song, but when you hear Meek Mill actually came in like warrior mode.
Is the point of a battle not to humiliate your opponent and like make them look stupid to the whole world and shit?
I think so. Let's be honest here, bro. Real, like, this generation now do not, ours included, our generation and the generation under us do not respect the pioneers of anything. They do not respect the people that paved the way. They don't even respect their elders. You can't even get them to respect their own mama. Yeah. Let's be for real, bro. So, like, I understand what you're saying, and I do agree. I'm a Meek Mill head. I love Meek Mill. He's in my top 5, bro. Yeah. Believe me, he's in my top 5. But you have to understand the strategy that Drake employed to destroy him. Yeah. Drake understood that people ain't listening and deciphering and analyzing bars no more. Nah. So Drake hit him with the, is that a world tour, your girls tour? And the whole world went, oh! And that's all he had to say. He won the popular opinion, bro.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, Drake won.
That's what I said. He won the politics. He won the politics of it.
That's how you win.
That's how you win, bro. It's about what, bro. It's about strategy. It's about understanding the
his
time.
His diss track was a hit song.
I want to
Meek could have won the popular vote had he been more strategic with his attack.
Yeah. This is the thing.
But Drake was calculated with that shit.
Way too calculated.
I think a lot of times hip hop gets misconstrued and it's blossoming into so many different things. A battle. The battle is what his lyrical pen brings to the table to this man's lyrical pen.
Drake had lyrics in it though.
But what I'm saying, if you become a bigger artist and this becomes a hit song, all that's cool. You got that. Mm-hmm. But the battle was not won by Drake. Now we can say the war.
It's not about the battle. Drake won the war. It's so you. Sometimes,
now we can say
sometimes
that,
you gotta lose the battle. Sometimes you gotta lose the battle, win the war. And in the grand scheme of things, Drake sent over 100. He signed $100 million Universal deal. You know what I'm saying? Drake built his platform off that battle that you claim he lost, but in the long run, financially and popularly, he won.
Which is the name of the game.
But that's another conversation then.
It's not another
conversation.
What bar?
I can't name a Meek Mill bar from that battle, bro.
I can't even name the song.
Name a Meek Mill bar from that battle.
I don't
No. He won the battle. Name a bar.
I can't name one from his or Drake's.
Is that a world tour? Your girl?
You just did, bro.
Is that a world? Is that a world
that is
tour?
a bar from the song.
Yeah,
but that's cute. But
it's
that's
memorable.
Not lyricism.
It's memorable, bro. And that's why Drake won the war, bro. Because no one today can even quote a Meek Mill bar from his diss.
That's like the most popular battle rap diss song of all time.
All time.
No.
It's Grammy nominated.
Yes, it is.
It is. It's Grammy nominated, bro.
Bro, that is the best diss track of all
Grammy
time.
Nominated.
The best one is crazy, but it's popular.
Like I'm talking about as far as like the impact, the overall impact.
Because
I think that and Sheether.
Because Meek Mill sent out a diss track, and Drake sent back a hit song.
Yeah,
that was a diss track.
That was a diss track. It just so happened to be a hit song.
The most memorable diss track probably of all time, bro.
Bro, I'm gonna be 80 years old. Like, bro, is that a world tour, your girls tour? Like, I'm gonna be 80.
And I understand it, but it's just one of those things. It's what everybody. It's a different. Maybe it's because I'm a battle rapper.
That's what it is.
Literally,
you're biased.
You have a very rare taste. Like she said, everybody ain't checking for like intricacies and bars. They're not, and stuff, bro.
Just because everybody thinks something is a certain way and majority rules with the democracy brain of the world right now, that doesn't change the essence of something. Being that I'm a battle rapper, I will always be glued to the essence of battle rap. So in a battle rap room, that wasn't it. We would have booed you.
Yeah, in the battle rap room.
On the radio, he won the battle.
So you saying if Drake would have came out at a battle and sung that song, y'all would have been like,
he would have got destroyed.
But listen, you got that. That's on Meek. Meek sent the shot over the radio. If Meek wanted to get him in a platform where he could win, he should have called him to the battle stage. That, like I said, Drake won the war. Drake was strategic. He was calculated, and he was more cunning.
And Meek
Drake won the war. Meek started it, bro.
Drake went out like a battle rapper, and nothing changes that.
What you mean he went out like a battle?
He went out like he sent this diss out like battle rap.
Drake or Meek? Because you said Drake.
That put it like I mean, you know what I mean, though. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Potato, tomato. We just saying a bunch of words. But I'm saying, bro, but you know what I meant.
I completely understand what you saying.
Nah.
From a battle rapper's perspective.
Yeah, I'm never gonna let that slide. We can talk about all the shenanigans.
Like neither song that Meek dropped to Drake hit at all. Like even like people like you wasn't like championing it.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying?
And that's false. I remember listening to it, the diss tracks at the time, and I remember thinking, yo, Meek really won this shit. The whole world just brainwashed. I remember thinking, yeah, bro, Meek. But the fact that today I can't recall a single bar lets you know that, and that's why I keep saying Drake won the war.
Yeah.
That's why I have that stand.
With that,
I'm a Meek Mill head, bro. Got every album.
This is what I'm saying. I agreed with that he won the war. I said I agree with that. But I think it's an issue with me saying, hey, that battle was won by Meek, though. He won the war, but that battle was won by Meek. It's just the politics won in his favor. And then on top of that, it's more politics behind the scene of what Meek agreed to do to allow Drake to look like the winner,
and that's
because
true.
people were offended because he exposed information.
What you mean? What he agreed to do?
No, there was some politics behind it. It came out a couple years. There was politics.
You weren't supposed to hit him, and since you hit him, at least let the main do this. And that's as far as I go into that, but. It's he lost to politics.
He did.
He lost to politics.
I don't know nothing about that politics shit behind that shit.
Nah,
but from a person
politics.
from a person from the outside looking in, Drake destroyed.
That's how they move though. That's like, for instance, Remy Ma and Nicki Minaj. That Sheether was a murderess. Yeah. But at the end of the day, when Nicki threw Wayne and Drake on her diss track, Nicki is seen like she won the war when we know Remy balled her up.
Bro, I think
everybody knows that though.
That's battle rap.
Bro, no, everybody. I think everybody gives.
But Nicki won the war though.
Yeah, everybody
gives it to Remy, bro.
Nicki didn't win shit, bro. She's just big enough to survive it.
But Nicki won the war though.
Yeah, I say she did.
Nicki just survived a war. Nicki like Germany. She got beat in the war, but
where's Remy's career and where's Nicki? Is that not the same thing that we doing with the Drake Meek Mill situation?
You can win a battle and turn out to be less successful than the person that you beat in the battle. You know what I'm saying?
But this was saying, so why are we not applying those same dynamics to the Drake and Meek Mill situation? Is it not the same thing? But
bro, historically speaking, you're a hip hop legend. Like I mean, not legend, but legend.
Head.
You're a hip hop head, right? Yeah. Let's be honest. How often does a battle rapper come into mainstream hip hop and be successful? Let's start with that question.
Oh no, it's just not
battle
gonna work
rap does not translate into mainstream
most
success.
Most battle rappers have one track minds, so once they get locked on attacking with rap,
it just doesn't. So
it's like,
so when you're talking mainstream, and that's what the majority of the people who consume music listen to is mainstream, not battle rap. The battle rapper is always going to be in a position to lose, or for the perception of them to lose, to be there.
Yeah.
Just because it doesn't translate.
Yeah.
So you think they set up battle rappers to lose battles? Is that what you just said?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Basically, the politics will never let a battle rapper. But really, I don't think. Or it's maybe a battle rapper. I think battle rappers really don't make good songs.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe a battle rapper can't make a good song as much as a person who can make a good song.
They're not good songwriters.
The thing that locks battle rappers the most.
Why is that though?
Is the thing that locks battle rappers the most.
They're so used to doing like 104 bars, like.
And it's not even that. It's not even that, because the same dudes in the industry would go to Big Ticket Basement and they would get applauded for just barring down beats. Weezy's whole career was just destroying people's beats and saying random stuff.
He can make a song.
I think what it is,
hard, though.
I think what it is battle rappers, in order to battle rap, we're so aggressive. We say the worst stuff you ever can hear.
Disrespectful.
That when it's time for us to cross over to a family-friendly platform, it's impossible to be marketed after your image is that aggressive. And I think that's really what hits battle rappers. It's like, we don't want to promote this.
That goes to their ability to write a song, though, because I feel like a lot of rap is like really vulgar shit. You know what I'm saying?
But there is some battle rappers that like Loaded Lug, Sue Surf. There's some rappers that make dope music.
It's never like a huge.
Sue Surf did 2 million streams on his last project that he dropped on Spotify. So they eating, but as far as seeing them become a Jay-Z, it's like. It's just the image. They always leave them in a pocket.
These days, you got to be melodic to like make a hit song. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Majority wise, you know what I'm saying. If you like too straightforward battle rappy, it's hard to like get a world hit song. Is what I'm saying.
I think the world's getting tired of that melodic shit though. Everybody sound the same. I heard so many complaints. I follow a lot of the platforms and I look to see what the consumers want. You know, and they're getting tired of the same shit. Everybody is the same fucking recipe, just a different ingredient added or something taken out. The world is getting tired of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now as the world moves into a more conscious, energetic state, people want to feel more. Like there's no feeling in music anymore. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see poetry making the comeback that it's making right now.
Really?
It's because poetry is making a crazy comeback right now.
Spoken word
is going crazy right now. And that's because hip hop is not doing what it needs to do. Like hip hop, we've lost the way. They're going out other places. Slam poetry right now is making a crazy comeback.
Really? I ain't heard no. This first I heard about that.
Yeah.
All over my TikTok.
That's all that's on TikTok. And my friends that's in the States, everybody's just going to poetry slams all of a sudden. I'm like, damn, when the poetry make a comeback? I'm in the wrong game.
I never really liked spoken word that much.
I do. Well, I started out in spoken word.
Really?
I didn't start out as a rapper. No. I started out in spoken word.
You performed like some spoken word before?
Yeah.
Was people like snapping their fingers and shit when it was done?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Thought it was some movie shit.
No, people really do it. People really do it.
I mean, if you really, I've seen some spoken word things where they said like some real profound shit.
Yeah, I wasn't a deep spoken word, and that's why I was easily able to translate into rap, because I've always been like kind of sort of superficial. Like,
You say you've been superficial.
for real, I do that shop thing, like that shop factor. But I said it in such a way that where like I come out too, though. So it was spoken word to hip hop was an easy transition for me. All I needed was a beat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you take any of my music, it can really be a poem. You know what I'm saying? So because I never switched up like how I did it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
But
that was good.
Huh? Nah, but is there any topic y'all wanted to get into? It was one more I wanted to get in. The fight heard around the world. You know what I'm saying? The Montgomery Brawl.
Oh, Lord.
Y'all got any opinions on that?
I'm proud. That's all I'm saying.
You proud?
I'm proud.
Is there something to be proud about in that situation?
I think it's the unity for me, because there's always been this big stigma about the Black community that we can't unify, that we can't get together, that we can't all come together as a group to stand for something. And I felt like in that moment, as it happened, I felt like it was a moment of unity for the Black community. And even though I'm trying to pick the right words for this.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to pick the right words for this. But, you know, it's never a good feeling for people to be hurt, for people to have to fight, for people who have to be violent. But at the end of the day, the situation at hand was, and I will say this, it was a battle against entitlement that has been a thing with that certain particular group. So
the
fact that they refused to move that boat for no apparent reason, and it wasn't like it was an aggressive thing, because when I watched it at first I was like, dang, they going hard. But when you see multiple videos. So when I saw the initial video of how they were approached to move the boat, and the aggressiveness started from the other party. So it was like they were talking, and it was like, yeah, you need to move your boat. Everybody's telling people they need to move their boat. They're not supposed to be parked there. And there's an entitlement there that I feel like they just wanted to make it a problem when it wasn't really that hard to move the boat. And the fact that he bum rushed him alone and then they jumped him, it made you not want to have sympathy for that particular group of people.
I'm gonna be blunt about this.
Okay, I'm gonna let you be blunt, because I'm thinking my words.
Blunt. I'm gonna be blunt.
Let's go.
Everyone applauses when the bully gets his ass beat.
There you go.
Regardless of how you flip it, at the end of the day, I don't care who was right. I don't care who was wrong. I just was glad to see them people fight back to make sure it was known that, bruh, y'all ain't gonna keep touching us like that.
Right.
Point blank. And he could have been in the wrong, but I've seen so many people in the right that got dragged and didn't get help. I just was happy that it was a beacon of light somewhere that said, hey, if you come, you better come correct. You just ain't gonna do anything to us.
But I will
That's
say,
all I cared about.
I want to say something.
I'm just being honest.
The Black community, Black TikTok, Black whatever you want to call it, I'm loving how they
I think
right
that for the first time in a long time, because I feel like for a long time I feel like all diasporas came together, because you have the Black Americans, the Africans, and the Caribbeans, and we all came together and celebrated this moment together. I just feel like we just haven't. A lot of us have. There's really issues with Black America within the whole diaspora. So I just feel like this is one moment, one part of us that we can be like, we can all collectively be like, yeah, we can actually do this shit together if we really try.
Agreed. So. And even in that particular group that I'm referring to, it's not a lot of them agree with that situation as well. So it's like that was just it was.
It's my opinion on this matter, and this is how I feel. I will never be okay with allowing.
I just think
I want to go back to
Nia wants to speak up real quick.
I just think my only thing about it is we can all. I like that we can all collectively agree, but I just feel like sometimes I wish it wasn't always with violence. I wish we could agree in other politics and other aspects where we're getting disproportionately like.
Right.
Damn, I can't find the word.
It shouldn't have to be a fight to unify us. It should be.
But it was great.
It
was great.
To the people that have an issue with what went down, what result did you want to get from that? Because they were already beating them up and beating them down. What result would you have preferred had he not got help?
My thing is, first of all, I think what I learned from this situation is that Black people can swim.
Apparently.
Swim,
shut that stigma down.
Let's go ahead. But no, honestly, I gotta agree with Vanetta. Like, can we come together in other causes? And to answer your question, I'm never pro-violent. Pro-violence, like legitimately. I'm diplomatic at heart.
Yeah.
But I get what you're trying to say. Like in that moment, right place, right time. I understand there was a time and the place, and them coming to his rescue. I'm not against that, But I would like to see us unite in other arenas. Like, why did it have to take a fight?
Yeah, why did it have to take
unite?
a brawl?
Or why does it have to take somebody saying something against somebody else or against a segment of people for us to unite? Like, why can't we unite? Why can't we get money together?
That's what I'm saying.
Without somebody hating.
We always been able. Hold on.
Let me finish. Why can't we all get behind a true leader to grow a business from the ground up without one of us hating or one of us backstabbing or one of us trying to pull him down because I want his spot? Like, why can't we unite in that way? You know what I'm saying? Like, why can't all Black artists in the local area all get together, get an album, or get behind somebody, and when one, let me finish, one make it, we all make it. Like, we only unite when it's violence or when it's negative. Like, when is the Black community gonna unite behind something positive? We never do.
I think the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And I think moments like this bring certain Black people who normally would not be cool together. And I think this is a stepping stone that will lead to unity, ripple effecting in other ways.
That's what I was going to say.
I applaud it. I salute it at the end of the day.
I think it's going to open the door.
I think that's how that's
We've had many moments like this within Black history, and I do not think it's going to open the door.
Yeah, I think.
And I disagree. Enemy is not my friend. You still an op. You've been an op. I'm not going to unite with you just because you don't like my enemy. No, I don't like neither one of y'all because I've been not liking neither. I'm not uniting. That's weird to me. Like, I don't know. I'm different. I'm from Florida. I tell people all the time, I'm from Florida. I'm just solid. I'm gonna move how I'm gonna move, and I'm not gonna team up with somebody just because they hate on somebody else. I think that's the weirdest thing in the Black community, and is the fact that we instill no values and we no longer have any morals. We just want to align with anybody.
That's a whole nother spinoff. We talking about survival and someone getting their ass beat, and you looking at someone like you and watching it go down and letting it happen. This is not hating on someone. This is survival. This is a whole nother topic.
I think like we can all collectively agree that this is a moment that's going to be celebrated. So this isn't that part of the conversation. We're talking about the aspects or the results after this. Yeah, like moving forward, a lot of us we are jealous of each other, and if one person goes up, we're gonna tear them down just because it's a crab in a bucket theory.
Y'all hate the person and y'all tearing down people. Y'all don't even know the heart of the person y'all trying to tear down, because they really the ones when they get to the top, they literally gonna bring everybody. But y'all so envious and insecure and backstabbing that y'all want to try to tear down the one person that's gonna get everybody out. Bring everybody out the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like, this thing is not gonna unite Black people. It's just not. Let's be honest. President Obama getting elected supposedly united black people. How long did that last? What, his presidency? Okay, it's not gonna unite black people. We're gonna make the funny TikToks and we're gonna make the IG reels and we're gonna shake our ass and we're gonna get on Black Twitter and then we're gonna go back to the regularly scheduled program. So let's stop pretending like this thing united black people because it's not revolutionary. There's been plenty of things throughout history that's supposed to unite black people.
I agree with that.
It ain't opening no doors, and black people always been able to click up and do some violent shit.
Fighting is easy.
Yeah.
But see, I do agree. I do agree with what's being said. But I do think sometimes we do.
Falling?
I think sometimes we do dramatize
Let's go.
some of the experiences that happen in the black community. Because in the white community, if you go inside of a business, people are getting back. The Donald Trumps, we hear the stories, people get backstabbed in their communities. Some of these other cultures and other races have governments and different societies where it's so downright backstabbing, it's just not publicized and dramatized.
They made it out the hood. They have wealth. They have money. We don't even have the foundation is what I'm getting at. It's different. It's different.
But
me being a billionaire and you being a billionaire, me being a billionaire and you being a billionaire, me stabbing you in his back is not going to hurt your billionaire status. We don't have many. We don't have shit. We don't even have a foundation. Y'all hate on the man that's building the foundation. One, y'all didn't invest your time, energy, and money. And I've been a victim of this. This is why I can talk about it. This is why I'm so passionate about it. Okay. Y'all not spending your time, energy, and money and building toward a vision. But y'all so quick to hate on the next motherfucker. And y'all really don't know that motherfucker was going to be the nigga that's really going to put y'all on. But I'm at the point now where I'm putting on who put me on. And the reality of who ever put me on, the only people that's ever put me on legitimately were white and Asian men. So y'all gonna be mad when I get to where I'm going, but don't expect me to reach back when y'all ain't help pull me forward. That's all I'm saying.
And I understand where that comes from. However, in the aspect of the circumstances though, and that situation of survival, I understand what you're saying, but in those dynamics specifically, I applaud them people for helping that man.
But we all said that
we're beyond that. We were past that. We've gone off to another topic.
I'm saying we saying hating on people and stuff like that. And I mean,
we was commenting on where it was gonna lead and if it was some profound moment in Black history and shit. No. I don't agree to that. I don't think this will be like written in any history books. The Montgomery Brawl when. A nigga jumped in the water.
It's gonna be written on Black Twitter, and we'll repost it 20 years from now. Like, y'all remember this?
Yeah. Let me say something.
But let me get this out first. Okay. That's what I was getting at in the saying that. We not gonna do it. But who else is doing that?
Who else is doing what?
Like who else is doing that? Having riots, and we just see groups and that's what I mean by it's dramatized. I think sometimes we tear down how we move so much. Oh, we ain't doing unity, but at the end of the day, every society in the world ain't doing unity, and some of them
definitely some societies doing unity, bro.
And then some are still thriving.
Fuck shit. What's that little white boy? I don't remember his last name. That Kyle guy.
Kyle Rittenhouse?
Yeah, that guy. You don't think them white politicians got together behind closed doors and made sure he didn't get the conviction?
That's a situation where they got together.
But we don't have black people in those positions to do that for other black people to make sure, I'm legal, so you're not going to tell me. I know how the game goes. I know how law works.
You think he should have been convicted?
Not according to law, no, because I understand law. Black people work off emotions. The average black person that don't understand law and how laws are written work off emotions. I understand law, so based on what he was not convicted of, charged with, I knew he was going to beat the case. I knew he was going to beat the case. The average black person didn't understand why he beat the case, though. But then white boys got together and made sure he beat that case. We don't have enough black people positioned to make sure, because there was a black man going to a white event. We don't have the people behind closed doors to talk about how we're going to get this black man out of this situation. That's what I'm getting at, because y'all too busy dragging each other down, and we'll never be in the position until somebody or the entire black community decide they're going to unite and we're going to support the people that's trying to help pull us forward or push us forward. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I agree with that, but what I'm saying with the Rittenhouse situation, after that happened, there was no white conglomerate of crazy influx of business that was a ripple effect of him doing that. And no one dramatizes it being bad because nothing came from that moment happening and leading to something. But in our community, we have this brawl and it has to be linked to, well, let's try to go to, and it's like, nah, just let that moment be that moment.
Yeah.
And I let the moment be the moment. I don't want to bridge anything to it to take away from, at the end of the day, that was a moment.
The guy that with the chair, he's been arrested already.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do, black people?
No,
Where's the unity now, black people? Yeah, we all got to get, like I said, you proving my point. We got to get on TikTok. We had a few laughs. Old buddy going crazy, streaming on TikTok. Numbers going, the rapper that made the song about the Montgomery Brawl song.
Montgomery Brawl.
Yeah, he's doing crazy numbers right now. But there's a black man that's locked up. And we all know made videos, we laughing kiki. Where the black lawyers at? Where the black judges at?
Benjamin Crump
Where the
probably
black
showed up.
businessmen at? Where the black people at? Exactly. That's my whole entire point is we get together when violence is involved and we don't do anything to solve the problem.
Yeah.
That was my whole fucking point.
I'll give you that.
A lot of y'all didn't even know that he was arrested.
I'll give you that.
I knew they was arrested. It's more than him. It's a couple people that got arrested.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
I think we kind of circling that point though. My takeaway from it is kind of like y'all probably ain't gonna like it. But okay, the situation was like you said, the dude worked for the harbor or whatever, and he was told to move the boat. And some people own the boat. Let's take color out of the situation.
Yeah.
A guy who had a job to do moved the boat, and the people who didn't want to move the boat were human beings. But they just happened to be assholes, probably drunk, and didn't want to move the boat. And they felt like they could whoop whoever ass who touched their fucking boat, you know, without the lens of race in the situation. Let's just take a look at it like that. You know what I'm saying?
I actually like it like that.
And the guy moved the boat. The guys came out and confronted the dude, and they got into a fight, and everybody in the group beat the dude up. Now, when you do interject race into it, the people on the other boat, they saw somebody who looked like them, and they took it upon themselves to go like be heroes to this idea of
help their kind.
Help. You know what I'm saying? And I just kind of look at life as like we all like the same. I feel like that. I think the concept, not to completely throw away the concept of race, because there's culture involved and everything like that. But the concept that the color that we like wear separates us, in my opinion, needs to eventually go away.
So do you think that if the harbor worker wasn't black, do you think that would have happened? Do you
if
think
it was
that
a white man,
do you think that whole boat would have went to bat the way they did if the harbor worker wasn't black?
No. If it was all white men fighting and they looked at the boat, everybody would have probably laughed at it.
But you also have to remember that it wasn't just passengers that got out to help him. It was also
the crew.
his crew.
But they all were black.
Yes, they all were black. But if he was the one person that wasn't, them workers probably were still gonna come out, because they didn't come out just because he was black. They came out because he's also there. They work with him. They know him on a personal level.
Why didn't the white workers come out and do the same shit though? If a white worker would have tried to help, they probably would have got hit with a motherfucking chair.
Do we know if there were any white workers on the boat?
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, I don't know if they was on the boat. I do know there was white workers. You're right. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
know if there
you
were
have
white
to
workers on the boat.
you have to assume it was some white. You have to assume it was some white workers on that boat.
Every single race on the planet protects their race. Why is it an issue when we do it? Nothing's wrong with that.
Bro, you're missing the point.
Bro,
you're missing the point. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I said, when are we going to unite with something outside of violence?
I'm referring to what he was saying.
I'm not saying it's a problem just because we doing it. I'm just saying it's a shame that two groups got a brawl like that, and it's supposed to be celebrated in the name of these made up I'm black, I'm white things. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think it's a made up I'm black, I'm white thing though. What?
Can I go?
This community has been doing this.
It is a made up thing.
I don't think it was a made up thing. I think that race is a social construct. 1, 2.
If it's a social construct, somebody came up with that social construct.
Race is a social and who came up with the social construct? 1, 2.
White people.
Exactly.
And you're buying into it. By
No. 2.
Yes, you are.
Okay. 2. Biologically, we are not the same. DNA, we are not the same. We are not the same biologically.
We might have different variations, but we are the same. We're all with the same species.
I understand what he's saying because I've done business. I've owned businesses. I've owned buildings. And in my experience, the only people that have ever helped pull me forward were white and Asian men. Period. I've never been helped by a black person. All they did was hate on me, gossip about me, try to spread rumors about me, try to tear down my business, try to get my business shut down. It was my own people. So when you're telling me, the reason I can identify with what he's saying is because I've experienced it personally. Mm-hmm. You can't get mad at me for my experience. Through my experience, the only people that have ever helped me move forward is never been black. It's never been somebody of my own. And it's crazy because when I first started getting into those rooms, I looked around and not only was I the only female, I was one of 2 black people. Mm-hmm. And to think I'm in the room now, I said, okay, at least I got one person in the room with me that I can identify with. No, it was the white men that showed me the way before my own people did. Mm-hmm. My own people has never helped me do anything going forward. I understand y'all want to talk this unity shit, but I'm speaking from experience. When it comes to business, when it comes to one to truly bring about generational wealth within the black community, I'm not just talking about my whole family now. I'm talking about the black community. Nobody black has ever come to my rescue. Nobody black has ever put me up on game about anything. I'm talking about regular conversation, average knowledge. We got to think about this. The black people that ain't made it yet, everybody's at the bottom competing. Everybody trying to keep information for you. I ain't going to put them on game because I see their potential. I know where they going to go with it. The only people that has never hid knowledge from me are white people. The only black person that has ever helped me in any way, shape, or form in my life with business are my parents with financial investments. That's it. No other black person has ever helped me do anything.
But have you been, and I'm just asking the question, have you been around black people in that time frame where you were bringing up that could give you that information and had that knowledge?
Yes, had the money, had the resources, had the knowledge. I absolutely have. You got to think, I came from the entertainment industry. I owned a club. There were a couple of black club owners in the area that didn't put me on game. But you know who put me on game? Them white boys did. Them white club owners did. They made sure I knew how to move, how to do my paperwork right, how to get my business license right, how to get my liquor license right. Hey, make sure you doing, if you're going to be in this district, do it this way. Hey, let me take you to meet the mayor. Hey, let me take you to meet the governor. That was the white boys. The black boys never put me in them situations. And what did I do like a dummy? And I say like a dummy because I love my people. So the resources and the people they introducing me to, I introduced my people to.
My politics was a little different. Normally in the areas I was in, just not even trying to blame it on race, on slavery, but the white people and the Asians normally were the people of power, so they were the only ones you could get a certain type of power from. In my community, majority of the people around me, they had money, they could be balling, but life-changing decisions still wasn't the power that a lot of black people around me had, so I just couldn't fault them for it.
Man, some of the first millionaires and billionaires in the history of the world were like black people and shit.
Some of the richest people in the world now are black people.
So why do we hold on to the caveat that like black people ain't never had shit to pull nobody up from shit? You know what I'm saying? Why black people always got to be the lowest common denominator in everybody's minds, even our own? You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you why. Because the black people with true wealth understand that it is a risk to, and this is me, because I ain't in them rooms yet. I ain't a billionaire yet. You know what I'm saying? I ain't in them rooms. But what I perceive it to be, and based on my own life experiences, they understand the risk of pulling up somebody else black. You know what I'm saying? When you've been stabbed in the back, because you don't get to certain heights without certain experiences. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty sure they've experienced being stabbed in the back by their own, which is why, and we see them up there. I used to wonder so long, like, yo, I'm not going to use nobody for example, this is a podcast, but like I remember watching certain stuff and I see certain black people with influence and money and they like, donating millions of dollars to a predominantly white private school. I'm like, damn, they could have, sent that to a black school to start a black school. But as I started to go my own journey in business, I'm starting to realize why. It is a risk because black people have this crab in the bucket mentality. They want to pull you down or they want your position. You know what I'm saying? We just don't stick together. And if you've never experienced it from the business side, you wouldn't know what I'm talking about. But I'm speaking from experience.
I mean, I feel you, but my point is like, that's your experience. And you shouldn't and you can't really use that as a broad brush to paint like all black people as like let me finish. I know you're not, but I'm just saying like generally, you can't take like you and me are two people within like how many billion people on the planet? Yeah. You can't take your sole experience with a person of a certain color and paint a broad brush over their whole race. And paint them as that. No. It's from the time they come out just because of the color of their skin. That's what you hate in the idea of what you think their whole race is. You know what I'm saying? You like buying. That's what I'm saying. Like you buying into that whole idea. Whoever created it. No, not you specifically. Okay. Just people who do. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's evil people among white people. It's evil people among black people of every race. Yeah. And you can't. It's also great people in every race. It's white people even when everything. All the atrocities of slavery
now you're getting what I was saying.
Was going on. It's white people that was thinking just like we was that shit is horrible and they helped us out of that shit.
That's why I said I think we dramatize it with our race. It's like everything, it's some stuff that other races do way more than us. But it's like when it gets to us, it's dramatized. Like it's the worst shit.
I mean, we're dramatic existence. People. We're like,
and it's like, yo, them other races doing they backstabbing, they doing the same stuff. Watch they movies. Yeah. Every business movie,
but they're already established though.
But I'm not speaking on their position in life. I'm speaking on the act.
No, it matters. The position matters, bro. When you can't make this statement, their position in life matters because we don't have enough people in those positions yet, and y'all trying to tear down every person that's trying to get there. That's the point I'm making.
Why aren't we established?
It's a lot of.
I know this is a big broad question.
I feel like because they had a 400-year head start.
Who had a 400-year head start?
Well, not everybody, but I think
maybe in America.
Only in America.
What about the rest of the world? Well, why ain't Africa the richest nation in the fucking world?
They are by natural resources, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, that's a
natural
whole
resources.
Why everybody rape Africa for everything they got?
Because the unity. No, the African leaders of the different African countries don't unite. Historically speaking, go back and look. Everybody's selling out everybody to another country. Like they just don't unite. That's the problem.
Shit, they sold our ancestors to America.
That's just a thing. We sell each other out. We backstab before we can even build a foundation. And you guys are actually proving my point by asking these questions. All of it goes with the fact that we don't unite. We don't unite.
She burning to say something over here. Speaking, I'm not trying to shit on all black people. I'm not trying to shit on all white people. I'm just saying like we all people, and we need to. I know it's a far-fetched idea because of all the tensions of like race and like the group think in America and shit like that. But like ultimately, what are we still gonna be on this? Like 10,000 years down the line, is everybody still gonna be so hung up on race, or are we gonna be like something else?
We didn't start all of this.
Who cares who start? That's like in kindergarten, a fight never stops because you started it. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately,
that's like the Bloods and the Crips. Where you shot first. You shot first. And now they're going back and forth.
No, it's different because it's not like, okay, you're saying you're black and I'm white. It's saying you're black, so you won't get anything in life because of you. Like
nobody's saying that anymore, though.
But this is the product of doing all of that. Those 400 years and everything else. We are the y'all are the product of all the shit that. Slavery and everything that happened, redlining, colorism, racism, like all of that.
But baby girl, our ancestors are not the only enslaved group in history.
No, we wasn't even the first enslaved group in history.
That shit, we was the last.
The facts. That's facts.
White people
factual.
liberated us from it. They were the first people to say, "Hey, this shit is wrong. Let's abolish this."
Go back in history. Britain was the first people to abolish the slave trade.
Before that, all throughout history, slavery was totally normal.
And they fucked us up.
Yes, but everybody. I'm not saying it was bad. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Everybody involved in it, they deserve whatever they got. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, often if you look at it through the scope of all history, take yourself out of the equation for a second.
Absolutely.
Every civilization enslaved themselves and enslaved each other and warred with each other and shit. It was just it's human nature. It's not white people. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not. It's not even that. It's just white people. I just feel like we got it. So like you have to understand.
We got it the worst.
You have to understand like the miseducation of the Negro. You have to understand the Willie Lynch letters. Like it's they fucked us up in a psychological way to where we have we have generational like trauma.
I actually was going to hint on the Willie Lynch letter. I was going to ask you if you read it. And
who doesn't have generational trauma? What I'm saying,
it's a segment in there where he was talking about making a slave, and the result he was trying to get was for the slaves to actually bicker with each other. He said, yo, treat the skinny one better than you treat the fat one, treat the light one better than the dark one, the short one better than the tall one. And if you do this long enough, eventually they'll start to fight with each other over who's the better one. And while they're fighting, you step in and stop them from fighting. And it appears that you will always be the one who's breaking up the fight, refereeing it, trying to keep them intact, and they will fight each other so much and dramatize everything they're doing so much that they will self-propel this. And as long as you don't, I basically was saying, as long as they don't come in contact with their natural order of way of being, they will continue to do this for eternity.
I'm sure it was all kind of psychological tactics.
But what I wanted to get to is to say, the reason our state of being is dangerous is because we're so knee deep into what we think black people are, what they're doing, what's wrong, what's right, that we're self-propelling it. They don't have to do anything anymore.
That's not the
We're
truth.
doing it now.
I don't think that's true.
It is the truth.
Psychologically
it's a lot of things that we're transferring over every time we have conversations repeatedly.
So at what point?
And we're basically spreading it out to the point where nobody else has to talk about it. It's like a dog in the fence. After you fed him food, you open the gate. He runs around and goes wild, but he comes back to the yard. And that's the state we're in, where the dog's running back to the yard. So, we don't remember. We're domesticated now.
So at what point, now that we realize that, at what point do we start making change? Like, I feel like the black people, all we do is talk about the problems within the black community, but nobody wants to instill or implement true change.
I think black people focus so much on where the change is at that we won't see it when it starts.
I think talking about it with direction is like a seed for a change, though. You know what I'm saying?
We've been talking about it for forever. At what point are we gonna exercise?
But what is the agenda? Is what I'm saying.
Because when we speak this way, it's to say we have made no progress whatsoever, and I will not say that.
We definitely have.
I will not say that.
In what aspects are we talking about progress?
Just the fact of, like, me and him was talking
opportunity.
About how
we got
about what 4 or 5 of the richest people in the world, top 10 richest people in the world is black. I'm not gonna just down us, just the resources we're making. There's groups that actually are combining in certain places that are working together and building stuff, inventions. I'm not gonna just look at our people and dramatize all the negative stuff to the point where I begin to feel that the race is doomed. I'm going to look at the progress, and I'm going to say, look at what's progressing, and whatever's not, I'm going to leave it dead where it's at.
Okay, so
I'm not going to sit there. Our race is moving, and I don't want to put that energy out there that we're not.
Let me say this. And we can wrap this topic up.
Yeah, you're pulling the wool over your eyes. Like you said a whole bunch of nothing. Like honestly,
in your opinion.
You just said a whole bunch of nothing. I'm talking about true action. Yeah, because that's what you're doing. What black leaders have done throughout history, which is pacify the black people with bullshit words. That's what you just did. That's what you just did. Like the Al Sharptons and the Jesse Jacksons. You're pacifying the black people with words. Like I ain't gonna go there. It's a podcast. I almost said something.
I mean,
I'll go name another man.
I can
go there.
I can agree to disagree.
Yeah, like you're just pacifying people with words. I'm not gonna say no bullshit. Okay, where's the action? Let me see. What's the plan? You know why we don't get what we want when it's time for the presidential campaigns? Because the black people, the only people that show up to the table with no plan. That's why there's no
and they always
movement. And that's
they
facts.
always vote Democratic.
That's facts. That's
like
facts.
90-something%.
Yeah, but the
Democratic.
black people of America are not the whole black race or the whole entire.
No, I'm talking about the black
true.
people of America. I'm specifically talking about America now. The only reason we don't move forward is with
that's why I said black race.
Yeah,
specifically.
we the only ones that don't show up with a plan.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to talk about Africa, none of them are united. None of the countries unite. Like I'm just saying, like I'm not saying like that's what I'm saying. You're pacifying people with words, because,
but that's not pacifying because it's not because when you speak
you're talking
of Africa,
about less than
you're speaking of Africa, and right now it's places in Africa right now where they're liberating themselves, taking over farmland, taking their land back, and they're over there.
Name every country that's doing it right now in Africa. There's one.
But this was saying.
There's one.
This is what I'm saying.
There's one. You can't say over there in Africa when you're specifically speaking on one country.
But let's say it's one.
One country is still
Hold on. Stop. Let's say it's one. That's progress. And what I'm saying is I'm not gonna look and say it's so much going on. There's no progress.
We've seen this before in Africa.
Okay, we've seen it
we've
before.
had this progress before, and you got. That's why I say you got no history.
But
you can't battle me because I truly know history.
But it's not even a battle. It's not even an angle of that nature.
Yeah.
Like what I'm saying is, if we throw water on every single little fire that starts, when does it get ablaze?
Bro, you're doing
every
this thing,
single thing we're doing
you're doing
is
this thing where you're doing this thing where you're pacifying people with words.
That's not pacifying. Well, maybe I'm not. Maybe you're not hearing it right then. Because I'm saying it, and I don't know how to break it down any other way. What I'm saying is, if we always look at black things and say we've done this before, we've seen that before, and we always talk down on it
I'm not talking down on it. I'm not talking down on it. I'm not at all. I'm not speaking down on it at all.
Okay,
but where are the other
I'm
African leaders rallying that behind him? When are they gonna do it? Where that's at? That's what I want to know. You got right now South Africa just now linked with BRICS. You know what I'm saying? The country is divided, bro. Let's be honest. It's divided. Because South Africa just signed on with Russia and China and Iran them. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, the country is not going to unite. You're using one specific situation to try to get a point across, and it's not going to work with me because you have to pay attention to what's currently going on
I'm not trying
the entire
to get a
continent.
point across. I'm just saying I look towards the black people that's moving. That's all I said.
They need support. You're proving my point again. Black people don't unite. We're not uniting. You're looking at, they're making progress. Where's your contribution to that progress? Where's the other black people contribution?
Okay,
that's
maybe
what I'm talking about.
Maybe I should say this. When we're growing up, you know that we have everyone around the world. This is already widely agreeable and understood, so it should layer right. We do understand how words, or just the fact that we even look at the movies with black stars and everyone gets excited. Oh, it's good to finally see a role model and we're depicted in this. If depiction and what we say matters so much to us feeling how the world should change so our kids can grow up in a better world where they'll be better off. What does it mean when we're saying stuff like this though, and that's what's being heard to the world? Does this not put people in a state where kids are growing up saying, oh, black people don't unify, black people, eventually that becomes a narrative.
No, that's a fact, bro.
And that's how the world continues to go because that's the narrative. And there's nothing wrong with it, but what I'm saying, for the people that are moving and progressing, those people multiply, and they will continue to multiply. And I just don't want to be one of the people to throw the stains of other black people and mesh it in like what they're doing is not working. I'm not saying you're saying that black people don't Cool.
No,
that's
I want
opinion.
unity. I want
all
unity.
I'm saying
I want true
is
unity, and I want
there's
applied
progress
action.
in
I want
places.
applied action. I want unity. That's all I'm saying.
I just feel like we can acknowledge all the good things that and all the progression that we've had, but we are not going to not talk about the shit that's the negative shit that's in the community. That's all we're saying. I know, because I'm thinking, and that's why she's saying that it's like pacification, because you're saying, well, you did all this great shit, so fuck all this other shit. It's still like we still have progress that needs to be made. We can still celebrate the progress that we have, but we still have to keep going. I think that's what.
But while we're talking
that's
about,
what I'm saying, and I agree with that.
But while we're talking about the negative, while we're talking about the negative, we've got that. Black people don't unify. Black people don't.
Now you see what I'm
Black
saying.
people doing all this stuff.
So what's the other side of the coin?
Can I say it? Right. So if that's what it is, now that we've passed that point, what can we do moving forward? If you have, and it don't have to be a step-by-step process, but just say what it is. Now that we got the negatives out, how do we turn it into a positive?
Well, all I'm saying is let's support the black leaders that are already making progress. That's my whole point. And it starts off small. I'm not even talking about, people on the major platform. I'm talking about your local guy in your local community that's opening up a candy your local barber that's open. Like you're not gonna sit here and pretend like we don't tear each other down. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I'm saying. Let's start with truly supporting the people within our community that are making progress. We're gonna sit here and pretend like we all support and hold hands and sing kumbaya when we don't. Y'all tear it down. I'm in business. I'm in music. Y'all not gonna tell me that doesn't happen. The only place I go in business that has never had drama is when I'm amongst white and Asian men. And that's just a fact.
But now you're going back into the negatives, though.
I'm not going into the negatives. I want to support my people, but I'm not going to be in the room when people are tearing down other people that are moving.
I think we going in circles.
So what's good about black people? Can we ask people in the room what's good about black people?
That's not even the question that goes.
No,
to
I just want to know what's good about black people.
I love dark skinned black women. I love all black women. Let me start with that. My preference is dark skinned black women. I think they are the most beautiful women on the planet.
But I'm not speaking of it in the aspect, because when we speak of the negatives, we speak of the actions. We speak of what are the actions that are good of black people.
I think you should be the first one to answer that question. I need some time to think.
Well, actually. You see what, and that's what I'm saying, and that's
answer your own questions. Answer the question. You pose the question.
I can say black people are beautiful. Black people are some of the most.
I said that.
I'm gonna keep going though. Black people are some of the most spiritual people I've ever run across on the planet. Black people are some of the most giving people I've met on the planet.
Right.
Black people are some of the most forgiving people on the planet. So you get what I'm saying?
The black women,
and that's what I'm saying.
I can give those characteristics to black women.
Black
women. I can give those characteristics to black women.
Black women are black people. So what I'm saying is,
you doing that pacification thing again, bro.
However you want to. That's not pacification.
The point I was making was black people, because nothing you named goes to my point that black people don't help other black people move forward. You answered it very generically, and that's what you do. That's that pacification thing that Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson do.
No, what it is, you're locking me to a part of the conversation.
I'm not locking you to anything.
You're locking me to a part of the conversation that keeps taking it that way, when the whole time I have not been arguing whether black people tear people down. All I'm saying is, all I spoke to is the point of the conversation when it came across, and it was like, black people don't do nothing. And before I went there,
I never said black people don't do nothing. I never once made that statement.
Well, maybe I misunderstood it, but the way it was coming across,
I spoke on my personal experience, and I constantly reiterated in my personal experience.
And you also said the only people you ever dealt with was white people.
The only people that have ever assisted me in moving forward in business, that was my words, speaking specifically on moving forward, speaking specifically on building businesses. Those are the two things I addressed.
Well, and also,
character traits. You came at me, you asked a question, you answered your own question with character traits, and you did not address moving forward or building businesses.
The reason I'm saying that it might have been applied that way, after you stated that, the reason why his statement after was to say, well, you can't take your situation and apply it to everybody.
And I didn't.
What I'm saying is, the reason why that was stated is because the air was giving off the effect that that's what it looked like.
And I I prefaced every statement I made with "in my experience." Every statement I've ever made, I said "in my experience."
Well,
and I say it that way. I'm legal, bro. I work with the law. I'm very particular with my words.
I understand
very particular with my words.
I understand that, but what I'm saying, all that's in agreement. I don't negate what you're saying.
Yeah.
So that it's a period. It's not a but. It's not a however. My statement after that is also there's some good progress with black people. Maybe I should say it like that. So if there's a dispute, if there's a debate that means you're negating what I'm saying.
I'm not negating what you're saying.
And I'm not negating you by saying that.
But you didn't address your question. No one in this room has addressed anything I said based on building businesses and moving forward in the black community.
But that's what I mean when you say it like that. You lock us to.
But that was my statement. You guys are making statements. You guys are asking questions or making statements based on my statement. And I'm speaking about a very particular.
I would say if it's particular, then it can't cover the whole race, though. Because the whole race is not particular.
No. But I'm not saying our race is particular, not particular. I'm talking about something very specific. Is all I'm saying. And no one has addressed anything I said concerning the very specific things that I've been addressing. That's why I'm very careful with my words. I prefaced my stuff with "in my experience," and I'm speaking specifically on moving forward, helping the black leaders in your local community, and building businesses. That's all I've been talking about this entire time.
Okay.
Okay, because I think we circled in this topic a lot. You know what I'm saying? I kind of forgot because y'all was like really going at it there for a second, so I forgot my point.
It webbed out into a lot of conversations, you know.
Yeah, but that's cool though. That's podcast gold right there. But so my question is, so y'all saying that black people should form some sort of like tight knit community that like ultimately uplifts itself out of like the position that it's in right now.
I think you got to start within your local community. I think you should start supporting the local black leaders within your own community.
But don't you think it should be more like on a individual basis? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you start with the
person, like your gripe with black people is that
I don't have a gripe with black people.
Okay, you don't have maybe gripe is the wrong word, but like you were pretty passionate about what you were saying about like black people not being too trustworthy in business and not like uplifting other people who look like them. So maybe it should be promoted that like black people should do that like more often, because that's the only thing that's gonna change that if more black individuals feel like that. You know what I'm saying? That ain't no company or organization or the NAACP gonna change like individual niggas' hearts and shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's not what I'm talking about though. When I say it's
that's what I'm saying. What is some black conglomerate gonna change about the majority of the individual black people in the community?
I'm not asking about a conglomerate. What I'm saying is when I say support. So if Jasenia has the plan, right? She's already within my community and say she wants to open a nonprofit. And I know I have certain attributes and skills that can contribute with her. It's just her by herself. She needs a team, right? And I know her, or I hear from her through somebody, hey, you heard about this saying she built a nonprofit.
Right.
Most black people would say, well, how much you gonna pay me? Or what you gonna do for me if I'm not gonna be like that. If I really believe in her, hear me out. If I believe in her vision, I know I got the skills, resources, or something to help her. I'm gonna bring my resources to her. It's not always about money, and I'm not gonna try to tear her down I'm not gonna go try to. I want to open a nonprofit. I'm gonna see what she got going on. I'm gonna peep over here and see what she got going on, and I'm gonna build my own thing.
I get where you're going.
No, that's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying you're supposed to have a bias towards helping her. Specifically based on the fact that she's black?
No, I'm not having a bias. What I'm saying is if I see another black woman in my community trying to do something.
That's what I'm saying. That's that bias I'm talking about.
It's not bias. No.
If you see another person based on the fact that they're black like you.
It's not just based on the fact that she's black.
When white people do that, that's wrong.
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's wrong.
But a lot of black people don't like that.
I don't care what they like. I don't feel like it's wrong. I don't feel like it's wrong.
I feel like every race is gonna help their own race.
Yeah, so I don't feel like they're doing nothing wrong.
It's not wrong when somebody else is, because the Asian community
it
does
is
it all.
Wrong.
It's not
it's wrong though.
The Asian
it's
community
not wrong.
does it
it's
all
wrong
the time.
based on what
the
group
Asian
you belong to. if you're the majority and that happens, and it's like if you're a white person and you hire somebody specifically because they're white and they're your family,
we're not talking about
that's
hiring.
giving an opportunity to somebody of your, that's uplifting your race.
But we're not talking about
hiring.
Because we're
talking about building.
businesses.
Okay,
we're talking about building.
If a white person has a bias towards only giving or more likely to be given another white person a business opportunity, that is a crime.
But she didn't say
I didn't
she
say
was
that.
only
I'm
going
not
to do
saying,
it for black people. She's just saying
You just talked about giving her opportunity because she's another black woman.
I said if I see her trying to build something, build her own shit as a black woman, and I know I have the time, energy, or resources to assist, I'm going to assist her. I'm not looking for a handout. I'm not looking for a paycheck. My only thing is I'm looking at is, okay, I got an opportunity to help you get to where you're going. I can't be here all the time. I can't give you all this money, but I know this person, you need help. I'm going to come and volunteer what I have to see her move forward or to assist her business anyway. And
that's
I'm not
all well and fine,
paycheck.
but it's all, my point is, for certain groups, that's deemed wrong because it's based off the fact that you're the same skin color. Because you said it. You said it.
No, I said if I see another black woman, there's nothing wrong with me helping. No,
of course, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just pointing out. I'm just pointing out a racial double standard. That's all I'm doing.
And I'm asking. But no, what I'm saying is, I would help a white man the same.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
She's speaking on black women.
But that's outside the community, though.
But the topic that we're talking about is black women and black people.
Black people.
But she would do that for anybody.
I would do that for anybody.
So, but the topic
how is that helping the I keep doing the air quotations. Y'all proving my point.
No, we're talking about the black.
We're talking about the black community specifically.
I know what community, but within a community, you favor people of your community, right?
No,
I don't.
It's not about. It's not.
Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about, man.
It's not about favoring. What it is that she's saying that black people don't support black people. All she's asking for is the same support that a black person would give to a white person. Like she would give that same support to a white person. We're just saying do that still, and even more so for a black person as well, because they're not getting it.
They don't have the advantage. They don't have the resources. They don't have the connections. If I know I got a connection for her in my white circle of friends, I'm gonna give her that connection. I'm gonna go back to she good people.
Okay, yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
I know,
but most black people sit back and like, I got this connection, but I ain't putting on.
Yeah.
How many times we heard that black people ain't gonna put them on? Y'all gonna sit here and pretend like that conversation don't never happen, but it do.
So the positive,
I'm just saying shit. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. The positive thing that we as a black community need to do, because I'm not gonna generalize the whole black community. Not saying that you were, but I'm speaking for myself. I'm not gonna generalize the whole black community, but I'm just saying that we would be progressing faster. Not saying that we're not progressing at all, but I feel like we would be progressing faster if we gave that same feeling that we have, that the white, like with the whole Willie Lynch letter, that feeling that we have when we want to help white people. We need to have that same feeling for black people too. We need to be able to help our own kind. If I see a black woman that's doing something that I've already done, and I see a white woman that's doing something that I've already done, and they both need help, I'm gonna give them both help. But I'm going to make sure that the black woman gets help too. I'm just saying, I'm not gonna go for the white woman and be like, oh, she ain't really, black girl ain't really serious about it. You know, black people don't be serious about their businesses. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna help who I can help, but I'm gonna make sure I also help the black people too. Don't negate your people. And it's even worse in your hometown, to be honest, because that's why we say start in your own community, because when you're in your own community, those people have seen you from little age growing up. They've seen all the bad things, mistakes that you've made. They've seen some of the good stuff, but a lot of people only remember the mistakes. So a lot of times they're gonna look at you and like, oh, I remember when she used to do blah 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 blah. She ain't serious about no business. She ain't serious about doing this and that. And it's always in your community. Usually when you go outside of your community, that's when you get more help from the black people in that community. Okay. But I feel like if you're in there, you need to help the people that are in your community, no matter what they've been through, no matter what mistakes they've made you know from the past. You still need to help that person.
Okay, I totally agree. It's all well and fine. But my ultimate point is with the community word, right? Follow me. That's why I kept doing the air quotes and shit. What does I don't know what the fuck the dictionary definition of community is, but normally a community is like you said, who you grow up with. Yeah, let's look it up. But I'm just gonna keep saying, like, it's like the people who you grow up around and live with, like, if y'all are like a tight knit society and community and y'all help each other out, that's a community, right?
The definition of community: group of people living in the same place or having a particular characteristic in common.
Right. So that's a community, right? It's black people that I ain't come up with. It's black people on the other side of the world that I ain't never met. But I'm supposed to have some kinship to this person. Just let me
your local community.
I'm saying, but listen. Yeah. I'm just talking about like the black community, the Asian community, the white community, all these, like, where did those communities start? Like, how far are we going back? Can we go all the way back to Adam and Eve and like whatever village was in that community? And can we all identify with that one?
I'm talking about your local
and just
community
all help each other instead of.
It starts in your local community because if you're in your local community, everybody that's in your community is not gonna stay in that community. When you're in your local, if you start from your local community, when the people from the local community branch out to other communities, when they do other things, when they have their businesses expand, things like that, they carry those same characteristics and the same things that we instilled in our community because we started there. So when they take it out to other communities, then it branches out and it creates
Y'all missing my point.
And about the kinship, why can't we have kinship with people that are
That's
far?
what I'm saying.
That's what the Asian
but I'm saying
do.
based
all the white people
I'm
do.
saying based on race though. Like,
Asian
why
is a race.
do I have to have a kinship with somebody just because they're the same skin color, just because we have almost the same amount of melanin in our skin and shit? Like, why can't I have a kinship with a motherfucker, with an Asian motherfucker on the other side of the world
because
too?
you're not Asian.
But he went through. Somebody in his clan was enslaved too.
But you'll never. But see, that's a culture thing. It's a culture thing.
But
because the Asian community has a culture that they are raised up in, and that teaches them, hey, you're gonna help this person. You're gonna build this business. We don't know
everybody
about that
has
person.
a culture.
We don't know about that culture.
Everybody had. Well, I could learn about it if I chose.
You could
if I
learn about it, but you don't have a kinship. When you have to insert yourself into something,
what you think?
You don't have to insert yourself with black people because we're already black.
My point is, all these conflicts in the world, and everybody identified and feeling like they in a group based on whatever the fuck their ancestors went through, one day needs to fucking stop. Like this conversation is so circular. Everybody blaming everybody else for everything, for assumptions. I'm talking about as a whole. Like, the whole groupism thing is so fucking stupid to me. You know, I understand why everybody feels how they feel, but ultimately, one day we're gonna have to get past that shit and just be people, man.
It's like the whole world is under one big ass Willie Lynch syndrome.
I don't know what world y'all live in.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's because me and my dynamic and my employment or whatever, but I don't work around too many black people. And going into those rooms initially, I tell people all the time they were very intimidating rooms because of my prejudice. I had to be self-aware. I'm like, these are my prejudice. They told me white men was gonna do this and be racist and treat me this way and treat me that way. Man,
planting all them assumptions in your mind.
And that's why I get in these rooms. I'm in there for a few days, and these people embrace me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't have that perception. I don't identify with. Let me say this right. It's not that I don't identify with the pro-black movement. I'm gonna say that. I'm just gonna make that. That's a fact. I don't identify with the pro-black movement, but I understand because I'm self-aware and socially aware. I understand why a lot of black people do, because they haven't been put in the positions that I've been put in to see another perspective. So I would give you that, but that's not reality. Those perspectives that you have are not reality. And based on my experience, I'm only speaking on my experiences, mine. Yeah. Based on my experiences, that's just I'm not.
I feel like you're in a melting pot type of situation. Like, you just kind of want to not make it a group thing, not make it a I'm black, you're white, you're Asian, you're Asian.
Yeah, I would love that.
But my thing is, I'm not a melting pot person, and I'm just quoting this from a YouTube video I saw. But it's like, instead of being a melting pot, a salad bowl. What it is I don't want to negate that you're Asian, you're white, you're black. I don't want to negate your culture and negate all that stuff. I just want you to embrace me the same way I'm going to embrace you. I'm embracing you as you, though. I'm not saying you're a person, I'm a person. No, I'm saying you're an Asian person, I'm a black person. I embrace your culture. I don't know about your culture. I'm not going to act like I'm going to be all. I want to learn about it and I want to embrace it. But I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't see color. Like I'm not doing that. It's not a not see color thing. We need to get to a point where we can still have groups, because at the end of the day, I'm a black woman. I'm gonna relate better to black women than I'm going to relate to Asian women or white women. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to embrace them whether I relate to them or not.
Yeah,
you can see the color, but it don't have to be the common denominator.
And
you know
then
what I'm saying?
also, it is possible you could be pro-black and not be anti everything else.
Exactly.
Like it doesn't being pro-black does not shut you down.
But I'm not. I'm black, I'm female, and I'm a woman. You're asking me to choose my blackness over my womanhood or my blackness over the LGBT community, and I cannot do that.
Oh no, I'm speaking personally for me.
I just can't do that.
I feel you can be pro-black and not have to be anti other things.
Yeah,
I feel like it's cool to be pro-black as long as you're not a black supremacist.
Yeah, that's anti something.
Yeah, I agree.
You know
with
what I'm saying?
I feel like you can't be pro-black and be homophobic. You can't be pro-black and be transphobic.
Why not? Why not?
You can't be
misogynistic.
Or misogynistic.
You can't be pro-black and be misogynistic. Because and a lot of those pro-black, pro-black spaces.
Explain why.
Because there are black LGBT, there are black trans, there are black gays, there
but
are
why is that always tied to blackness though?
Well, because I think because
gay people in every ethnicity.
Yeah, right.
Hold on, dramatized.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You're not gay. Y'all are not gay.
That's
y'all
I'm asking you genuinely.
Don't say it's dramatized. It's not dramatized. Then white people embrace their gay kids. The black community kicks their kids out the house as soon as they found out they're gay. It's not dramatized. This is based in facts and reality. And
you don't think that happens in the white community?
Not as often. Not as often as the black community. And for you to say it's dramatized invalidates the reality of the black LGBTQ population.
Well, that's the opinion that's the opinion.
That's the opinion. But that's the opinion of you. But you're not black. You're not gay. You're not gay.
But when you talk to people, you can't make statements to try to lock them to statements that they didn't directly say, because people will say what they mean. So no matter what you lock it to,
my statement was you cannot be pro-black. If you're anti-black LGBT, you cannot be pro-black. If you're anti-black or you're misogynistic, you can't be pro-black. You can't, because there are black gays, there are black trans, there are black. There's like, you can't do that.
All these labels.
That's why I say I can't be pro-black, because you're asking me to deny the fact that I'm also a woman. So I got to fight the fight of every woman. I'm also LGBTQ. I have the fight of every LGBTQ. You can't just call me pro-black.
Well, maybe I would just have a different understanding of it, because when I always heard pro-black, it was linked to the color. And it was linked to nothing else.
Right, and they link it in that way. But if you look at the reality of it, they don't fuck with the gays, they don't fuck with the trans, and they really don't fuck with women. They don't respect their women at all.
Respect the woman.
Black people don't respect their women.
No, okay, because you're gonna blanket it. What I'm just saying is that we can all say that because when I think of pro-black, I mean of all black people. We can say that all day, but at the end of the day, they don't fuck with the gays. You don't fuck with the. But I'm not saying
it's
y'all.
Just as many the white people that don't fuck with gay people.
I don't think so. I think the parents are embracing their gay children. The white parents. Because here's the thing though.
People embrace them too, and some of them don't. Some of them don't.
How many gay friends do you have that tell you about their experience?
That is not reality, and that goes to show.
So you saying in every black case?
No, see, don't do that.
I'm talking.
I'm not doing anything.
And I'm gonna go on a limb here. I say a good 70% of the time, and that's being generous, the black family do not embrace their gay child. But I think the statistics is
70%.
I say the statistics reality wise is more on the lines of 90-95%. I'm gonna be generous and say the 70 though, because like I said, I've been gay since the 90s.
Yeah.
And I was a kid in the 90s, but I knew I was gay. I knew I was gay at 5 and 6. I don't care what y'all say, consciousness and all this shit. No, bitch. I was in kindergarten looking at bitches. Like, I've always been attracted to women. You know what I'm saying?
But we didn't say that though. We said transition.
We talking about
I get what you
being
said.
the opposite gender and shit.
And I know I say a lot of little jokey jokes because that's me. I like the comedic humor. I don't like dealing with like tough topics and shit.
Yeah.
Like that's me. So I do make a lot of jokes and shit.
It's cool. I like that.
But I can't. Who am I to tell this trans person that they don't feel like they're a woman at 5 when I knew I was attracted to a woman at 5? Like, who am I to say that?
In my opinion, that's a totally different thing, though.
And it is because we're talking about sexual identification versus sexual orientation. So I will give you that. But who am I to invalidate their experience because I don't live it or I've never felt it? I can't, because I know how I felt with my sexual orientation. Who am I to tell them what their sexual identification is or at what age they felt that sexual identification? I'm not in that place. And you guys have the privilege of growing up. Yeah, you guys are black, but you have the privilege of growing up as a man. Like I said, I can't say I'm pro-black because I'm also a woman. So I got that going against me. I'm also gay. So I have that going against me. So unless you live, you guys only have to fight what? Racism? You guys only fight oppression from a racist standpoint.
I don't really fight racism.
I fight, no. I'm talking about in America, generally speaking, we have to fight oppression from not just through race, through gender, because I'm a woman, and through sexual orientation. Like we fight, I'm going to say prejudices. We fight prejudice. I fight prejudice from 3 different angles. Y'all are only fighting it from one. So you guys will never understand what I'm saying unless you sit down and be willing to listen. You guys want to throw your opinions out.
That's why we on the podcast,
when you've never had the
baby.
experience. When you've never experienced it. You know what I'm saying?
I think our opinion.
You think I can't empathize with you just because I don't live your experience?
You can empathize with me.
You can empathize. I said your opinions. I'm not saying you can't empathize.
I think my opinion is being misconstrued a little bit because of the response is from that aspect. So what I'll say is when I'm speaking, I'm pro-black. I'm saying because I'm going to help the black person over any other race. That's all my pro-black means. It is, I don't care if you're gay. I don't care what you are. I'm pro-black. But that doesn't mean I'm going to stop any other race from getting anything they need.
We're talking about being, we're talking about
But that's what pro-black means. Maybe we should look up the definition of the word.
What, pro-black?
What pro-black means. Can we look that up?
Yeah, can somebody?
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Because like, I just want to see what the context means to see which way.
I mean, I'm pro everybody, man.
Me too. I tell people all the time, I'm black, I'm gay, and I'm a woman. I've been discriminated against my whole life. I will never discriminate against anybody else for any decision they make, the way they were born, the way they feel like they were born. Like the gender they feel like they are today. Like I just can't discriminate.
Let me ask y'all.
Pro-black is supporting or favoring black people. Simple
that's all, and that's what I am. That doesn't say black straight people. Black, no, that's black. It's never been linked.
And
to
you
the
just
social stuff.
Might be that one person that's
that
like that,
one person,
or like the slim people that actually feel that way. But I would think that I would say that most pro-black people, they don't give a fuck about the black LGBT.
You talking about people like Dr. Umar Johnson.
But this is the thing. This is where it's
the black church.
This is where we merge. This is where we're merging pro-black.
Don't talk about the black church now.
This is where we're merging pro-black.
Don't talk about the black church because you might just.
This is why I think we're merging the word pro-black into what preference is, and pro-black is not linked to a preference. Is preference. This is something totally different. Which is why I said look at the definition of supporting. You can look at a person and not like what they're doing as a social person, how they act, but in a pro-black moment, you're still gonna help that person over any other race. And that has nothing to do. So no, let me finish. Let me finish.
I'm giving him an example.
No, what I'm saying is to say, if the definition of pro-black is that. The people you're talking about are not pro-black. 100% of the pro-black people are pro-black, and if it's not fitting to that definition, then we're talking about other labels that are applied, and we're calling them pro-black.
The Pan-African.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sticking to the words and their definitions.
Yeah.
Yes.
And pro-black does not mean anti-anything.
And that's what
pro-black just means I'm going black first.
And that's what they're saying.
But
That's
I understand you saying, but a lot of the guys that take up that pro-black, stance, they're misogynistic. Let's be honest. They're anti-gay. Or anti-LGBTQI LMNOP.
I know Dr. Umar is definitely anti-LGBTQ. He be talking about that shit.
And he's misogynistic as well.
But he's gonna help a gay black person over a white straight person.
I don't know. You haven't heard the hate he spew.
He still love you because you're black, though. I think.
Omar is not gonna pick a straight white man over a gay.
But let me tell you why I say I can't. I have to consider my other dynamics when I talk. If I see a situation and I'm just walking up right to the situation, say I see a black man arguing with a white woman, I don't know what the hell they arguing about, but I just see this argument going on. But this black man is like way bigger than her, way taller, more, and very aggressive, and he might be in the right in whatever they're arguing about. But you can't ask me to take a pro-black stance against this frail woman, because the woman in me I will automatically sympathize with that 4'2" white woman that this black man is in her face yelling. That's why I say I can't call myself pro-black, because the other parts of me.
But you can't blanket every situation with the
I'm not. I just gave you one specific example, and I did that to show you why I can't just say I'm pro-black.
That's not a pro-black labeling situation. That's a situation where you're just being a good person and helping the.
No, that's a situation where I'm gonna take the black person's side no matter what. What does pro-black mean again?
Supporting or wait, hold on.
Supporting and favoring black people.
Supporting and favoring black people.
Supporting and favoring black people. I'm not gonna support and favor him just because he's black when I'm also a woman. So I'm looking at that white woman like, "Oh, you okay, sis?"
But this is what I'm saying. As the race thing kicks in when it becomes social and whatever it means when people see this. On a level of seeing a situation like that, that's a human race situation, so where as a human you protect the human. This has nothing to do with color.
It's not that
but
it's
in business, social life, building up communities, I'm pro-black.
And let me just say that it's not that it's an exception. What it is that pro-black means, like they said, supporting or favoring black people. When you're supporting black people, and I'm when they're wrong, completely wrong, if you're saying they're wrong, that doesn't make you anti-black, and you're not being, and it doesn't make you pro-black to support wrong. It's just wrong. So if I saw a black person yelling at a white person for no apparent reason,
I'm gonna look at you and say, "Bro, you bullying?"
You just gave the scenario.
Exactly.
No, the scenario has been
I'm just piggybacking off the scenario.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, if that was the case, if there was a black person that was in the wrong to any other race, white, Asian, whatever, even to another black person, it is what it is. I'm not going to support wrong, but what I am gonna do is try to calm the situation, because they are a black person. That's a pro-black move, to calm the situation so that way it doesn't affect in a bad way to the black person. So it's just be like, I will calm the situation so she won't call cops. You know what I mean?
Well, thank y'all for being pro-trans. Thank you for saying that you guys are pro-black trans and pro-black LTV, LBG,
I can be pro-black.
ABC,
I can be pro-black
LGBT.
Trans, pro-black gays. I can be pro-black for them and still not agree with whatever it is they're doing. Yeah. I don't have to agree with you to be pro-black because you're black.
But that's the thing. You have to agree with everything. At least trans people believe to be pro-trans. If you disagree with anything,
no,
you're
it's not even that. It's just
anything.
Let's say
anything.
Ooh, don't do.
I think the argument is being pushed that way so it can be an argument.
I just think that a lot of people that are pro-black are not really pro-black. They're pro-straight black. Is that a thing?
I mean,
can we say that?
Pro-black is pro-black. We circling again. We circling again.
I know. I get what you're saying. By definition, pro-black is pro-black. But in reality, we're dealing in reality of it. The reality of it. All I'm saying is I don't think I've ever been discriminated against for being gay by another race. But I have my own.
But that don't y'all
That's all I'm
y'all
saying.
just pretty much calling black people homophobic and
Oh my God! Is that what you're really? No,
that's all y'all doing.
That's why I was saying I wasn't trying to
said,
say that's what she was saying
no,
earlier.
That's exactly what you guys
the way
said.
it's worded, it's.
No, I said
that's
what
exactly
I said.
what you're saying.
You got to
I
remember
said
the people
was
that's watching the blog, they're not gonna be able to have a conversation to dissect what we meant.
I think that most pro-black or let's say whatever the fuck percentage it is, some pro-black people are not pro-black because they're not pro-black gay. They're not pro-black.
Let me ask you,
trans.
why is it linked? Why does it?
Because,
why couldn't it be a separate movement?
It is, and y'all don't fucking like it anyway.
What you mean?
But we don't like it because you're not black. You're black. We're gonna support.
Hell no, they don't give a fuck about
let me get
it. Y'all kill black trans.
Let me get it clear.
Black switch.
Hold up.
I feel the
one at a time.
Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Like Billy was saying, like y'all are fighting that one movement. You're fighting too. Y'all are fighting that one movement. The race thing.
The oppression.
We are so it goes from this whole room. Shit. Okay, that's fine. That's cool. But look, all 4 of us are fighting what race? 3 of us are fighting gender. 2 of us are fighting homophobia. It's a different thing. And because
the oppression Olympics.
It's not even the oppression Olympics. I'm just saying that's what it is.
and this is why the conversation, because everyone want to make a joke when it comes time to talk about LGBT.
No, I'm talking about everybody who's oppressed.
And women matters. And y'all want to take.
What?
No.
I think this.
What are women oppressed about today?
I think that conversation.
What
is
opportunity
a good social...
are women missing out on? Because if anything,
misogyny still exists. Like we're gonna.
Man, women winning today, man. It's a matriarchy in the world. Like,
it's definitely not no matriarchy.
Man, women running shit.
It's getting there.
Women running shit.
But we ain't there yet.
Y'all got every fucking opportunity in the world.
Man, they just took away our right to abort.
That's what I don't like right there.
They just took away abortion rights. What you mean?
Ain't nobody took away abortion rights. You can still get an abortion in America.
And they just took
it out. They just made it so it's not a constitutional right. And I don't think the murder of anybody should be a constitution. We can get into that too. Because ultimately abortion is murder.
I
you can get into the semantics of it and the names of it and shit.
I understand.
And I'm sure she has strong opinion, but that's we done been talking for 3.5 hours, I think, already.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
But
oh my God,
but I do want to say this though. I do want to say this just so for the people who that are pro-black and they need somebody to voice actually what they are. And what I'm saying is,
yo, he about to get his last. Hold on.
I have to say
after
this.
After you're done.
Because I have to say this. I can have 10 million disorders or problems with me. You can have 1 million, you can have 5, you can have 10, you can have 1. At the end of the day, until you're in front of another race and someone deliberately says, because you're this or whatever those millions of disorders are, I'm going to help him instead. Until that happens, their pro-black switch is not off. And that's just my opinion.
Your mic went off.
I think you hit it or something.
I was like this.
It's like short.
But until then, your pro-black switch isn't off. Until they choose another race over you, they're pro-black.
Go ahead.
That's bullshit. That's complete and utter bullshit, bro. Only black people have turned their back. My family turned their back on me because I was gay. You can't. How you gonna call yourself pro-black, but you're anti-black gay people, bro? That's bullshit.
But that's not anti your blackness, though.
That's not
but you still put me out.
You still put me out.
They didn't put you out because you black.
They put me out because I'm black.
They put you out.
I'm black, and you put me out. But I'm black.
This is my thing.
But that's outside of the fact that I'm not condoning them doing whatever they did to you. Let's get that straight.
The black community is gonna erupt the same way for a straight black man getting killed from the cops.
No, the fuck
if they kill a gay black man, they still gonna erupt.
Of black trans.
But listen, pro-black does not mean that I have to agree with personal decisions that black people make.
Right.
I don't, as a black person, I can be
this is a
pro-black
bloodline. This
without
isn't a
agreeing
social,
with personal decisions.
This is a bloodline.
What personal decision
thing.
did I make?
I'm just saying the personal decisions, the personal things that you have going. Personally, you are a gay woman. Correct?
I didn't choose to be gay. I was born this way.
But it's not the argument.
Wait. I think she meant individual of the individual.
It's not the argue personal decision. I know what you meant.
You're not gay because you're black.
You just worded it.
I understand.
You're just a black gay
woman. But you can't be against. You can't truly call yourself pro-black and be against black gay people, or be a misogynist and be misogynistic. That's just my belief.
But I'm not against it. Yeah. I'm not against what you want to do.
I know, sis.
Yeah. No, but I'm just saying.
But to say you can't be
personal, your personal.
To say you can't be pro-black if you're not pro-gay is
it's not pro-gay. It's pro-black. Gay.
The same tomato.
It matters. It matters because you're saying so. Pro-black. The definition of pro-black was what? What did you say?
You have to be everything.
It was supporting or favoring black people.
Exactly.
I'm still black.
You're still black. So what happened to her?
You're not supporting me. You're not supporting me. You can't call yourself pro-black if you're not supporting me.
But not because you're black, though.
But you're not.
So it makes it better.
I'm a black person.
No, it doesn't make it better. It just doesn't prove your point.
This is the thing. Everybody doesn't dress like what they are. People help black people and they don't even know none of this information about them. Some of these people just get helped on you dropped your bag, I'm gonna help you. It's just moments where people help in life and they don't even get to the questions of asking none of that stuff.
That's great.
It's just black people.
And that's the exception. But most, I would say, let's say some black people, the pro-black people, they don't give a fuck about women. They don't give a fuck about the gays. They don't give a fuck. If you are a straight black person,
I think they give a fuck about women, though.
That benefit them. We don't want to talk about.
You need to watch podcasts other than yours, bro.
I do watch a lot of podcasts, actually. I know who y'all talking about. I don't really watch a lot of pro-black podcasts. Honestly, I know about Dr. Umar, and I think he's pro like traditional woman, period. But is that misogynistic? And I think he wants, like, Dr. Umar's philosophies are black people should date black people. You probably shouldn't be gay.
No, probably shouldn't be. Probably shouldn't be. That what he said.
Probably shouldn't be gay.
Two negatives.
You should do anything and everything to uplift the black community, like he says.
That is how he said.
And
that's how he said it.
Yeah. Exactly. He said community.
He has good ideologies. Like I said, because of who I am. Like I said, being a black gay woman has opened my perspective on a lot of things. So I take in a lot of information. I actually like Dr. Umar Johnson. I like his philosophy.
He's funny, right?
No, he's very educational. Like, I agree with him on
He has like a degree in like
matters.
mental
psychology. He's a psychologist.
But he's still building that school.
His back is pulled out.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, the back is pulled out.
Last time he was on the Breakfast Club, he was like, they got it up. They got a building.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
and
the
then
building was getting the kids in and everything.
Yeah.
Like he actually... They don't promote how far he got with it as much as they promote how long it took him to do it.
Yeah, that's true.
So can I send my gay kids to his school?
No.
I'm going to send my gay kids to his school.
I don't think he would care. It's just the curriculum is going to be the curriculum.
I think he said, he don't accept gay people.
Yeah, because my kids are going to be very assertive.
At the end of the day, I am pro-black because if you need help, I'm not going to ask you about your personal lifestyle before I give you help.
And it's okay to be pro-black.
I actually like how you worded that.
That's my pro-black. That's my pro-black movement.
Yeah, that's what it is. I actually think that's the best way to say it. Pro-black because you don't care.
I don't like
what
the
it
idea
is.
that
it's just
if
black.
you're, I don't like the idea.
Yeah.
And let me say, I'm not particularly pro anything. I'm myself. I'm sorry.
Same.
Unapologetically, you know, I don't subscribe to a lot of things.
Like both of y'all are kind of just
we're saying the same thing. That's why I say I can't be pro-black because I'm also a woman and I'm also gay. Like I just can't be pro-black. And because of my experiences and who have helped me in life, I've received help from people that I was raised to believe would never help me or don't care about me. So I can't be pro-black because I have to give back to the communities that poured into me. Like, it would just be wrong for me to just get to where I'm going and I'm like, nope, I only care about my people now. Fuck you. Thank you for the tips, though. Like, that would be kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
But what I was saying, like, I'm not particularly pro anything, but I'm not, like, anti anything particularly either. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have no gripes with, like, gay people, you know? Of course, like, and I'm honest. Huh?
I'll come to the cookout.
Hell yeah.
I can be the godmama.
I love I love lesbians. You know
see, everybody love lesbians.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, but I'm also honest, and if I see something that I don't agree with, I'll voice my opinion, and I would like for that to be okay because I'm respectful. Yeah. And I'm not trying to like hurt nobody's feelings. I just, I think everybody should be able to believe what they believe. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And if I see some bullshit, I should be able to point it out, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. If something don't make sense to me, I'm not gonna treat you like some little kid who's playing invisible. And even though I know damn well you ain't invisible, I ain't finna sit there and coddle you and be like, oh, I can't see you. You know what I'm saying? We can have a conversation about both of our views on the subject, and one of us can move to the other side, or we can agree to disagree, but it don't mean I hate you or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
I just want to say, for all my Black people, I love you. We need to move forward. For my gay Black women, I love you. For my Black women, I love you. Just love everybody and stop trying to I just feel like we just all need we need to uplift everybody, not just the Black straight people. Like, it's everybody. Who doesn't matter what your sexual orientation, your sexual identification is. I just feel like there's a lot of attacks on us in every aspect.
But I don't think nobody really tripping off people being gay no more.
Yeah, they are. They are.
I don't think they are. Not like that.
Yeah, I mean, but you also live in Europe, guy. So let's just start there.
Even in America, you think people really got a prejudice towards you as a gay person?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think for
me, think it's made progress?
I do want to say for me, because I look the way I look feminine presenting, that I have a past that most people think that I'm attracted to men anyway. Mm-hmm. But I think for her, it's a definite like, oh, you trying to be a nigga, you want to be like me.
And I don't. And that's why I always like harp on the fact that I'm a woman. The one thing about me, I may be masculine presenting, I may be gay, but I very much love the woman that lives inside of me. Right. I'm big on womanhood. You know what I'm saying?
And I think people can, well, me personally, I can respect that because, you're a woman and I can't tell you what you like and shit like that. I mean, we can debate about like the origins of it and whether, it's biologically, whether people are born like that or something like that. We can debate about that. I'm not saying this.
Want to do it right now?
We're gonna be here 4 motherfucking hours.
He said he's
no, but I'm saying I can respect, because I talked to a trans person like early in my show. His name is Buck Angel. Okay. One of the first people to like start the medical transition and stuff. Totally looks like a dude. He's 60 years old, has a full gray beard, was a porn star and shit, and was born a woman. And
like T.S. Madison, like the opposite.
Was a fashion model before, and now looks like Joe Rogan. He was on Joe Rogan and shit. Okay. But he an old school tranny. He don't identify as a transgender. And he doesn't impose what he believes himself to be on other people.
And that's how it should.
And he doesn't like the new age trans movement that is trying to impose their will on society and make everybody accept their ideas about themselves. And he's like a head of the group Gays Against Groomers and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's how it should be. And that's why when I say I was gay before it was cool, because when you was gay before it was a trend, that's what we believe. That's why I say I mind my business.
Right.
Because it's not, who am I to impose? You're going to respect me, right? I don't care. Like, you don't have to like me as a gay person, but you're going to respect me. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to discriminate against me because I'm gay. But I'm not going to impose my will. And I do think there is an issue with the way that the world is going now and them trying to force it down people's throat. I don't necessarily agree with that. Why can't we do it like we've been doing it? Just live our life and don't give a fuck what nobody say or think about us. But that's just me though. Right. Not everybody can think like that, because other people don't have strong wills, or their mental health isn't always there. Like you have to understand that not everybody can think like you.
Right.
And I just want to say, I love everybody.
Okay.
Do you love the gays?
Not to be general.
You know I do.
Because at the end of the day, I do. I'm not saying that I don't love y'all. I'm not saying I don't. It's not even an agree or disagree thing. I don't have no issues. Your personal lifestyle is your personal lifestyle, and I also want to apologize. I didn't mean to say decision. Lifestyle is really what I meant. But no, I know. But I'm just saying that for everybody that's gonna watch. Like lifestyle is what I meant. But I'm just saying it's not for me. But I'm not negating. I'm not saying you can't live that way. That's your lifestyle. It's just not for me. But I'm glad that you got whatever makes you happy, whatever.
It's not a lifestyle.
It's
not a lifestyle.
It's not a lifestyle either.
It's not a lifestyle.
So what necessarily would you describe it as?
That's like
who we are.
Who you are.
Who I am. Yeah, it's just me.
I just want to say that because I feel like it they use that word.
The black community, the pro-black community. No, I'm just saying, it's not pro-black. No, it's the black community. They say lifestyle. But particularly the church community. That's where that term comes from. It's the church. The church community says words like you.
I guess y'all not religious or anything.
But just know when I say lifestyle.
My mother's a pastor. What
your mama's a pastor?
My grandparents are pastors.
Yeah, we're all
pastors' kids.
All three of us are pastors' kids.
PKs and PGKs.
Yeah. But I will say, when I say lifestyle, I don't mean it in a disrespectful way. It's just I don't know what.
I'm so abused.
You never know.
You
never know.
I know.
Yeah, you never know. But
I'm
now,
very religious.
Just who you are.
I'm actually very more spiritual.
I'm very spiritual
than religious.
Man, I want to have a whole podcast on people copping out on religion just to say they're spiritual because it's such a vague thing to say.
No, it's not. And we'll have a podcast. We can talk about this.
Yeah, we can talk about
the podcast. But I'm gonna say this. I will say this. I'm very I do read my Bible. I'm very spiritual. But one thing I learned about the Bible, my favorite character in the Bible is King David.
Okay.
And the reason I love King David so much is because the lesson King David taught me was that you don't have to be perfect to be anointed by God. You can still be a sinner and be anointed by God. Let's look at that man's life. Let's look at what he did.
Right.
And no matter what King David did, the Bible always says he was a man after God's own heart. So after I read the story of King David and what he did, particularly with Bathsheba and Uriah, you know, I was telling my mom, I was like, Mom, this was recently, within the last year, maybe like 8 months ago. I said, Mom, you know, I like King David. He taught me that I can still be a sinner and still be loved by God. Like, you look at what King David did. After he did it, the Bible says he was a man after God's own heart.
Right.
Egregious acts. But he was a man. I said, Mom, y'all, I think the church is just telling the story wrong to instill fear, to influence your behaviors. That's what I think is going on. But when you read the Bible for yourself,
that's religion in a nutshell.
Yeah, but when you read the Bible for yourself and get your own understanding of those characters in the Bible and their stories, you'll gain your own perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I've never read the Bible.
Read the story of King David. Matter of fact, I'm gonna sing you the scripture. Read it. Read what he did, and read how God still loved him. Like he was the biggest sinner in the Bible. King David.
Ain't it supposed to be a thing like no sin is bigger than the other sin?
No sin is bigger than the other sin.
Nope.
Man, we getting into these topics that we could talk about forever, man.
I had my closing statement. I just want to let know everybody I love everybody.
Okay, anybody want to say anything else before we close this motherfucker?
I just want to say peace to the kings and queens and stay striving.
Black people, black women.
Another public service announcement.
I love you. I hear you. I see you. I feel you. You are beautiful. Yes, that's it for me.
Okay.
Thank you. Cut that up. Too.
I really don't have nothing else to say. I just want to get on the mic.
I just want to say I'm open-minded. I love people, and I love people, and I love black people because how can I not? Because I'm a black woman. I love black people.
All right. That was a very interesting podcast. I feel like we keep going for hours. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna have to come back. I really enjoyed the conversation. I hope nobody got too offended or anything like that.
It's good building. You know, healthy building.
I don't get offended.
I like good heated building. Conversation and
I'm
stuff
very
like
passionate
that.
I'm very passionate about I won't get offended.
Yeah. It's good healthy building.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That need to be had.
Hell yeah. But I hope y'all come back thugh.
Definitely.
Like I said, I enjoyed it. And I go by the name of Tommy Guns. This has been the Quote Goes Podcast. If you still watching, make sure you click the like and the subscribe button. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace.